I can hear this. Here.
Yeah, I can hear.
Should be like way clear. Be like really clear.
Oh, I heard the voice then.
Yeah, it's
Oh, you're on. It's on.
Is it?
Okay, fine, I'll record you too.
Okay, thank you. Good.
It's just gone blue screen.
Oh no. Thanks. Keep it.
It was good 3 minutes ago.
Is it good now?
No.
Give it a second and
Now
it'll
it's
be
good.
10-second delay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all the action from the Great Barrier Reef Arena up here in MCAI. It is an unbelievable setting. It is the grand final that we are watching between Souths and Pioneer Valley. I have no idea who won the toss, to be honest, but they are definitely batting at the moment. Souths obviously bowling. Don White will be into Josh Brown. Just something that we haven't seen for the majority of this weekend is a leave. Obviously, all games that have been played this couple of weeks have all been 8-over games, which has been an interesting concept, something that probably not many people have played whatsoever, certainly myself. My name is Lee Drennan. I played for the brothers team while we were up here. We obviously didn't feature in the finals. This will be Don White in again. Played back to the bowler from Josh Brown, ricocheted and picked up a cover for another dot ball. So it's quite interesting, this 2020 match that's obviously seen usually as the shortest format of cricket will in fact feel very, very long today after these 8-over games that we've been playing for the entire week. The 2 semi-finals last night, both 10-over fixtures. So we've played plenty. The 20 overs that we've seen, that's quite a circumspect start in comparison to what we have seen for the rest of the week. Now, the left-handed opening batter for Pioneer Valley named Addy Gruel, he has pretty much had the best tournament of any player, you'd have to say. There was a sponsors dinner last night. Everyone was watching at the Harrop Park Country Club, and he put on a clinic chasing 134 from 10 overs. I think they chased it with 8 balls to spare, and it was mainly courtesy of this man who finished 91 runs off a very small amount of balls. I'd love to have the official stats for you there, but I don't have it in front of me. And starts with a wide, the second over. A wonderful shot by Addy Gruel. It will be out to deep point. Now there's also Addy Gruel in an earlier match, I think it was round 2. Addy has got them to a super over, one of the first super overs that I've ever seen, to be honest, and made probably 20 or 19 off the super over, won the super over for them, but then in the last ball that he faced was writhing in pain due to his hamstring injury, and since then he has batted on essentially one leg. His running between the wickets has been somewhat hampered, but his batting absolutely has not been. Third ball now to Josh Brown. Dan, do you want to get on the mic here? Someone that knows the players might be handy. I don't know who's actually bowling.
No, probably think so. Yeah, I can.
Thanks for that. Play and miss by Gruel. There was almost a half shout, quite muted appeal. It's one of the few play and misses that we've seen. It's been a great start from South. Again, as we said, the 20 overs, probably a little bit hard to work out what's a decent total, to be honest. We've seen scores of 80 and 90 off 8 overs be reasonable for the last couple of days, but I think this week here at Great Barrier Reef Arena has just got better and better throughout the tournament. That's hit, I would suggest it'll be another dot ball. Just a hint of movement. There's certainly, it's the same batter that was timing the pants off him last night. Struggling to just get going so far this morning, but a lot more time to work with. Obviously the power play will be 6 overs long. As I welcome Dean into commentary, it's great to have someone to talk to. Thank you very much, Dean, for getting in there. You've brought a coffee and a toasty, and things are really looking up for my morning, I've got to say.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot, mate. Let me join in. But, yeah, no, it's a great day today, and looking forward to some good cricket.
Gruel, it's gone over cover. It'll land short of the fielder at deep point. It's actually fumbled out there. You would probably can't see that on the live stream, but it's not going to cost them any runs. It's mopped up, fielded, and that will be, no, there's still a ball to come in the second over. Dean, who do we, give yourself a short introduction just about what you do around here. I know that last night you were dressed up quite formally, had the button-up shirt on, so obviously you're an important member of the MCAI community.
I sit on the board. My portfolio is looking after junior cricket, but I have done the senior cricket before, but just all things cricket is in MCAI.
Perfect. That's a nice shot from Brown. It will just be one. It's a good field that they have set here, South. Obviously some thoughts have gone into it. Josh Brown, dominant right-hand batter from Norths in Brisbane. It's made his trip up and probably hasn't had a tournament that he would have loved. I think certainly know that he's scored 100 against us in grade cricket and he can hit them everywhere. He's missed out in most games, but he's definitely the type of player that could go off in a grand final with probably a little bit more time to get himself in.
And probably the T20, a little bit of extra time will probably suit him.
That's right. And that's whacked from Gruel, and that could be the first maximum of the day. I believe it is.
Yep.
The umpire's got his hands up in the air, showing the armpits, and that is probably more reminiscent of what we saw last night when we were sitting over on the balcony there from the left-handed Addy Gruel. It's the first maximum. It makes that over quite handy. I'll probably actually need to get a scoreboard check here.
Yep. Yeah, none for 15.
None for 15 after 2, which is a good set. Just a reminder, we're back to a full 2020 fixture. If you have been tuning in throughout the week, you would have seen these 8-over games where things can all happen very, very quickly. At 2020, Dean, we usually think it's quite a short format of cricket, but it seems like a marathon now.
Yeah, it does. After what we've experienced over the last few days, that 8 overs goes pretty quick, but you can see, even then, you see a game change pretty quickly in the space of 1 over. So
interesting, just dynamics today. The offside boundary for where Brown is facing now is the larger boundary, but it's also with the breeze, and quite a substantial breeze certainly from where we're standing under the shelter here. This will be Don White to go for his second over in a row. He's going to bowl 2 at the top. And that's played to mid-on. A chance of a single there, but said no. Don White starts with a dot ball. He's been very impressive this tournament as well. I think Souths, Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they actually finished 4th. And they
did, yes.
Beat Norths in the semi-final last night.
Yeah. Yep. They've got a couple of quality players that have come in from Brisbane, which has been good for them.
That's played to mid-wicket, but he'll have some work to do. It'll just be a single to Brown. Yeah, you're right. Don is plays in the Premier Grade comp again in Queensland for Valleys. Had an incredible season. I think he would have been somewhat else. There's been some unbelievable players come up and play, in fact, and probably some of the ones that have had great tournaments. Obviously, the left-hander that's on strike at the moment. There's another left-hander for South standing in front of me here, Jack Beath, who also plays for Valleys. Had a magnificent tournament as it's White into Gruel. It'll be a dot ball, I think. Hit the point there. Very well fielded. White's over, only costing them 1 run off 3 balls currently. And you just start to think that Gruel will be thinking they need to make the most of this power play now, I think, man.
I think so, yeah. And the way that he's been hitting them, it wouldn't surprise me if he looks to up it a little bit now.
Okay. It is hit just to cover out to the sweeper. It's wonderful execution from Don White again. Got his sweepers set, happy to get hit there for 1. Trying to really make sure that the start is far more circumspect than how they've been able to get away. Heck of a location, Dean. Great place for cricket here. Wonderful day. I think there was some rain overnight, but you really wouldn't know it from looking at these facilities. And this wicket's been outstanding. It's had so many games of cricket on it. White in. Played by Brown. It'll be a dot ball again. Don White is 5 balls now in this over, the 3rd over of the power play. It's cost 2 runs, so it's an outstanding over to start with as we welcome Dylan McLaughlin into the background, featuring 2-siders, which is a magnificent effort. What is it?
Brookvale Union Ginger Beer.
Apologies, Brookvale Union Ginger Beer. Far better. That's wonderfully bowled by Donald White again, and that's a really successful over, you'd have to say. 2 runs from it. in the third over of the power play. He has bowled 2 overs now. He will be one. Potentially the Pioneer Valley are happy to sit on a little bit. Probably the pick of their bowlers over the last couple of days.
Yeah, I'd say they just look to get a few runs off each of his overs there and not sort of risk anything too much.
Yeah.
To start with.
It's interesting, as we said, it's interesting to see because we haven't played any of these longer format games, or longer format 2020 over the last couple of days. They've been in and out, so I think everyone, there's probably a little bit of thinking going into when you pull the trigger and how deep your batting lineup is for Pioneer Valley as they're batting first and trying to work out what a good total is. Obviously some incredible batsmen to come. I think Steve McGiffin from West will be batting at 3. Jared Sipple, also from West, batting at 4. So they've got some quality batters stacked into that top 4. No question. Who do we have on here, Dean? This is where you're really coming into your own, the knowledge, the local knowledge.
Yeah, well, it looks to be Toddy Dixon bowling again.
So they've gone 2 and 2 at the moment. So we see there's going to be some issues on the sight screen.
Yeah.
2 young Pioneer Valley boys sprinting there at light speed to make sure that they can get involved. I think they've missed the mark though, unfortunately, but they might be there by the next ball.
Yep, you're right for then. It looks like Toddy's one of the local players from MCAI. Normally plays with Magpies.
Okay.
But has played with South in the past, and they got him in for this tournament. But looks like he's coming around the wicket.
Around the wicket to Gruel for the first ball, 4th over. It's a very good shot. If it beats mid off, it does. Mid on might get there though. It's well fielded. It'll actually only be a single in the end. It's probably a really good shot. He deserves slightly more than that.
Yeah, probably did. He hit that nicely.
I think in all reality, this would be the end that probably Josh Brown is better off trying to take on if they are going to take a little bit of risk. Right-hander hitting with the breeze here.
Yes.
Someone that doesn't struggle to clear the pickets generally.
Yep. No, this would definitely be his favourite end. We've seen a few land on the clubhouse this weekend, so.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been some real dents go up there in the Harrick Park Country Club. They will be needing some running repairs post this. Nathan Reardon's been here playing as well, obviously former Big Bash player, the Strikers, the Heat. Might have even played one game for the Hurricanes, I think. We'd try and track him down.
Yeah, he did play for Hurricanes.
That's in. It's not well struck from Brown. It was probably surprised him. It was almost like a knee-high full toss from Dixon, obviously trying to go very, very full. Has sweepers out both sides of the wicket, one at deep extra cover and then one at deep mid-wicket. So you can tell that he's probably trying to go as full as possible. Get the ball right up there. But Nathan Reardon claims that he hit the biggest 6 of the tournament, against us in fact, Dane.
It was. But I think young Matty was hoping there was a bigger one. He didn't want to claim that record.
Yeah, that's right. Poor Matty. That was Matty Grant's introduction to cricket in MCAI, with a no ball free hit and then the free hit being dispatched 4,000 metres. Not what you're after. Oh, that ball hasn't come back. I don't even know that it hit the roof. I think it may have. Yeah, it may have actually cleared everything.
I think Rito thought it went right the way over.
Dixon in again. Brown will play that one to mid-on. It's a dot ball again. This is a great set for South. These last 2, Don White bowled an over that went for only 2 runs. Dixon here stacked on now 2 dots. You can sort of see just trying to work out the pace to go, I think, with the 2020 now. I feel like Brown has probably had a tournament where he just needs to hit the ball in the middle of the bat a couple more times to feel like he can take big risks. That's very well bowled from Dixon. That's straight in the block hole, and that will close out. No, it won't. There's one to come. Apologies, but it's been a fantastic set. There's 3 dot balls in a row there. And Pioneer Valley are none for 18, I believe, off 3.5. So
Yep, just the 1 ball to go.
2 overs
Close
left.
this one out, it'll be a good comeback for Todd.
There we go. Brown has got that. He's flicked it through mid-wicket, and it will be 4. It beats the fielder at deep mid-wicket, and it's what Brown was sweating on that over. It's a very good set from Dixon. Just missed the mark, obviously trying to go right in the block hole for that last ball to close it out. Slightly short of that, and a flick to square leg by Brown. It'd be none for 22 after 4 overs, I believe. You're going to see White, which is interesting. Don White looks as if he's going to bowl his 3rd straight here. Just a reminder, back to 2020 cricket, which means that they do have a maximum of 4 overs per bowler. Don's bowled the first 2. He's going to bowl all 3 of the power play overs, I guess, showing as much faith in your main strike bowler to get that power play sorted. He'll be in now for the start of the 5th over. That's incredibly well bowled again. It'll be a dot ball. Grill hits it straight back to White. What are your thoughts on that, Dean? I guess the only issue is that then you are definitely probably losing someone who can bowl very well at the death as well, who have 1 over to bowl, which you'd expect him to bowl in probably the 19th or 20th over.
Yeah, you'd probably be looking for that, but they're probably looking to get that breakthrough if they can get rid of one of these guys in the power play. It'll sort of help set up the game for them.
It's a very good point. So it was hit to mid-off. Should have been an easy single. Obviously we know Gould's on 1 leg, so he hobbled his way through. It's a direct hit from mid-off too. Great piece of fielding. Just a quick reminder not to run on him for the rest of the game. It's always an appropriate message to send. I've got Dylan McLaughlin here that's been playing as well. He's lined up, ready to go on the commentary also, so we'll sub him in at some stage. A little super sub. Brown, that's nicked. And past the keeper, that'll be very tough to get. So that'll be 4 runs, so Brown back-to-back boundaries, and you just can't set fields for shots like that. You make your own luck in this game. Great intent. And it's a shame for Don White. He's bowled an incredible set. The first boundary he's going is a thick edge past 3rd man.
He definitely went hard at it, so
he might have changed gears here, don't you think? He's
be looking to
cash it in
a bit. Yeah.
He is. He has sort of munged that one off the inside half of the bat through mid-wicket, but it'll be 4. I thought it was munged. It's gone quite quickly, to be fair. So obviously hit it far better than I thought. And he is really, I think you would probably think that they looked at Don White as someone that maybe they would just see off because of his 4 overs were going to be incredible. Obviously, if he's bowling 3 of the power play overs, then you don't really get that option. One of them has to take a risk, and Brown's change gears now. He's tried to hit that one through cover. That does go to mid-wicket. That's not as good a timing. White's length's been very good here. I think there'll be 2 overs to go. 2 balls to go, sorry, in the 5th over. But they've done magnificent to get this wicket to where it is actually, Dean, after the first, there was a lot of rain overnight on day 1. As White, he's in to close this over. And that is well struck by Brown. It'll be a chance, but no, it's not. That's wonderful fielding.
Great fielding out there. Definitely saved 2.
It's a cannon of an arm too. Is that Beath out there? Jack Beath, not renowned for his fielding. He's more of a usually renowned for being a space cadet and not actually knowing what's going on in the game. It's a wonderful piece of fielding. Saved 2 runs. It's not a bad set from Pioneer Valley. Josh Brown in particular.
Yeah. Oh, the email went out to all the clubs about it, yeah. It's still happening at 12, yeah. Right up,
Number
MCAI
15. Oh, do you?
Oh,
subbing Dylan is raring to go.
Yeah, no, he can definitely jump in.
The only problem for us is we won't know the players, but
no, I'll hang around for a bit.
Yeah, we'll work that out. Strap that on, Dylan. Thank you, Dean. It's your exit. That's a great day on the tools for you. Quick 5 over session. Very happy with that. And thank you for this toaster you've delivered as well. Look forward to eating that at some stage. Is this Dixon again?
Not too sure.
Oh. That's Dixon again. So they've just gone 3 and 3 here, Dylan, the South bowlers. You'd see so much in the modern game, people trying to change and make themselves unhittable by changing the bowler and making sure you're not getting your rhythm, and then South have just gone, that's all bogus.
It's an interesting ploy. They're not going to have any overs left.
Who's bowling? It could be Jack
later in
Beath
the
bowling
day.
at the death.
Well, he did bowl 2 in the 8 over game, so.
Dixon in. That's a full toss, and that's carved away straight to cover, though. It'll just be a single. It's
Kicked him out
wonderful
on the
timing.
fence. I'm a bit worried about Brownie here. He's not scored any runs all tournament, so he's quite due, actually.
Well, we actually mentioned at the top that he is the type of player that could just go bananas in one of the games.
All of a sudden, it's a game changer.
Exactly, and this is probably an end that he would fancy himself with. I mean, we made the point about that, but I feel like if you've had 2 overs to have a look at the bowler and he bowls a third, you are probably trying to size him up. If you've got the power of Josh Brown, that is. Obviously, I'd still be trying to flick it to square leg for 1. But I think
Rotate
that
the
Brown
strike.
may not do that. Here he comes. It's length. It's not well struck, but it would plug in the outfield, and they'll look for more, just the 1, in fact. It's not the hardest running I've seen, but there is a man with no hamstring, as we've talked about. Dixon, I think, has done a really good job top here. I was making the point, Dylan, before you subbed in, that I think, did you play the first game on this wicket on Saturday? I think you were the first.
We were the
No,
second game.
wasn't
Second game, but yeah, it was.
And when we got off the flight, I don't know if we were on the same flight, but when we got off the flight at Friday afternoon, it was raining as hard as I've ever seen rain. Like proper teaming. Sorry, it was stopping. Dixon in now. That could be a wide, I think.
Gotta be. Yeah, no, it was diabolical early Saturday.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Just honestly, to see what it's playing like now, they've used 1 wicket, 1 strip the entire time.
Pretty impressive, really.
500 games on it. I mean, they're 8 over games, but in between, Dean, who's just left the commentary box, he's been out there in the roller in between every single ball, pretty much, it feels like. Grill, that's over cover.
It's a boundary, is what it is.
That's incredibly well struck. There's chaos here. Absolute chaos.
The ball striking for me is just something else.
Well,
Haven't
Dylan,
seen the reverse sweep yet, though.
No,
Maybe
that's
because the fielders aren't out yet.
2020 as well.
Still
He's
in
got
the power
more
play.
overs to work with. He may wait a little bit before getting onto that reverse, but it's a great point that you make. I think coming up here, you would look at the Pioneer Valley lineup and go, oh, Josh Brown, Steve McGiffin, some incredible players here.
Serious
we see,
side.
We see Dixon into Grill again. He's walked across and hit that one. Oh, it's well fielded to square leg. It's saved. If that's through, it's 4. Obviously, this will be the last over the power play, so you can see that Grill's really trying to take toll. But it's actually been this man, Addy Grill, that's essentially 2 games he massive runs in, and he's done it in a fashion where you just can't believe some of the shots that you're looking at.
Last night was a joke. It was just hitting them everywhere.
I mean, Dylan,
Reverse
you
sweep.
actually try and play those shots as well.
I do. I give him a good crack.
Walks across now and goes over cover again. That's 6 too.
Wow.
I mean, that's just a free-flowing swing of the bat. He hasn't even tried to hit that very hard.
It's the wrists. This is just elite.
And we can't, I guess we're hoping that we get to see it at some stage, but some of the shots that he's been playing last night, Preston White played for your side, Dylan.
Yep.
An incredible cricketer, taken so many wickets in first grade, so many runs. He was bowling to this man last night in the semi-final. I think it was the 3rd over of a 10-over game. He was switch hit.
Onto the roof.
Onto the roof.
I think one of the spectators made a comment that it should have been 8, and I agree.
Yes, I'm with it. And I know this is a debate that people have all the time, like, oh, you shouldn't be able to do it, you shouldn't have to bat, you can't, it's unfair for the bowlers. I don't think people understand how hard that is.
If you've got the ability to do it, fair play.
If you can switch it, you do it as much as possible. You do not want, I can tell you that there were people over there watching that probably didn't even like cricket very much. And as soon as they saw it, they were intrigued by the game. So I don't think it's something that should ever be outlawed.
No, I agree.
For sure.
The one thing I don't get is how's he playing 3rd grade at Norths?
Wow, this is a question that I would love to. Tom Healy might
Dear
be
God.
listening at home. We've got a couple of North men out there that I'll certainly be contacting and say, if you blokes are not picking him,
What
can you
is
send
happening?
him over to us, please? Holy, the guy is a freak. We
Valley-
do see a change of bowling here, by the way. Dean, if you could just get on telling us who that is. He's
Looks like Connor to me.
Connor. It does.
I don't know his last name, but
Is this Connor that plays for the Caboolture Snakes?
correct. That is
Yes.
Connor.
One of the great theme songs.
Lord Farquhar.
He
This
does have
lookalike.
this massive lookalike. Yeah.
I think the lookalike's actually Prince Charming, but we'll go with
Lord
Lord
Farquhar.
Farquhar.
I would like to actually know, I don't know if there's the facilities for people to let us know in the comments, but some of the great team songs, I'll speak about it after this ball. Connor's in for the second ball of the over. That'll just be a single, I think, to Brown. Obviously, we're outside of the power play now. It probably would have been worth mentioning and letting you know there are 5 fielders out. I've just seen an unusual piece of activity there. The ball was stopped dead, and Connor at mid-wicket has tried to pick it up and dropped it. A stationary ball. They can be tough to pick up.
They're hard, those ones.
That's right. The Caboolture Snakes that Connor plays for, their team song, Dylan, we had a tough day at the office one time playing at the Sunshine Coast. I think we were absolutely dominated. Nick Selman got 100, someone else got 100, and we were feeling pretty poor about ourselves. And then we came off into the dressing room, and all we heard was this victory song from a team that had won on the field behind us. And I promise the story's worth this 4 balls that I've taken to tell it. It'll be Gruel. It goes through mid-wicket, and that'll just be a single as well. And so, as we're feeling in the doldrums, had the worst day ever, we hear this. Oh, when the Snakes, right? So, like, obviously, St Kilda sort of team song, which many people have got. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But they're not the Saints, they're the Snakes. So they've changed the word to Oh, when the Snakes. But my favourite part is that they go sliding in.
Oh, God.
Brown has hit that. He's got it off the inside edge of the bat, but it's a...
It'll do.
Well, that'll do. You're taking that, absolutely. I don't know that it's where he wanted to hit it, but it's probably far more valuable, both fine leg and square leg up for Connor here. And Brown happy to take it on. I mean, in all seriousness, this is probably not the end that you are really looking to go at, I think, with this breeze.
Breeze is quite heavy that
But
other
then,
direction. Isn't
in
it?
saying that, it's quite a small boundary too. I know we saw a lot of 6s there
Yeah,
last
that
night.
is the smallest boundary easily.
Yeah.
Cow
So
corner.
Brown potentially just saying, I can hit it there anyway.
And he can.
We can. And he has. And it could be a chance, I think. It's too big. It'll be 6. And there's that short boundary that we talked about. And that is another 6 that Brown is just threatening what we all know he's capable of. We haven't seen it yet in this tournament. You can see Don White down there at long on, and he's starting to give some captaincy inspiration, which is probably not what you're after from my small experience with Don.
Barking some orders.
Whatever Don suggests, I would be doing the opposite. But he's getting into the game. There is a field change here, though. They've gone 3 out on the leg side.
Oh.
It's a good length. Brown's trying to flick it over fine leg. It'll be the end of the over for Connor, and I'll try and get you a score update. In fact, I've been poor on that, but we can't do everything around here. The score is none for 58. We've got Josh Brown on 30 off 25 deliveries. Addy Gruel on 25 off 18 deliveries. There are 7 overs gone, 1 outside of the power play.
Slow for Addy. He's on about 60 of 20 balls last night.
I was going to say, when there were 7 overs last night, they would have definitely been on 100. And who do we see change a bowler, you would think? Any clues on who we might be looking at here? It's obviously a pace bowler. The keeper in the floppy is giving that away. No pads.
No
There's a
pads.
lot going on there. I love it.
You've spoken about that a bit over there.
Yeah, well, I must admit, I kept this whole weekend with no pads on.
No, I noticed that actually.
Dean wouldn't give me any keeping pads. That was outside of the budget, fortunately. So I've just had to risk my shins instead. Luckily, I gloved them okay though. Certainly didn't bat very well. Had to do something useful. Tom Pajaya we have here. I think I've watched a bit of him. I've heard rumours that he was a very, very useful junior cricketer, in fact.
Yeah, he come through our junior program.
Jack Beath, I think, played with him in the same age group as Jack Beath, you'll see bat.
I think he's going to bowl too at some stage, I reckon.
You might see him bowl too, which is a shame for you and your cricket viewing experience. But in he comes now to Gruel. and that is an unusual piece of cricket. It's a full toss. Gould had sort of made the intent, I think, that he wanted to flick it over the fine leg and square leg fielder, and this is the field that they're running with here, Dylan. That shot's definitely on, in fairness. Fine leg and square leg both up in the ring. It means that deep mid wicket and deep mid on.
They've got third man out for that reverse sweep instead of the regulation sweep, I think.
Walked across,
It's out.
hit it, and I didn't think he'd got it that
Off
well,
the
but it's a
field.
short boundary, and it was flat, and it's just the way that he's hitting the ball at the moment. To be honest, if he hits it a quarter of the way that he can hit it, they tend to go for 6.
How's they gone for 6?
Well, I thought the fielder at one stage was actually in business.
A big chance.
Didn't sound great, the timing, but he's just got some bat speed. I don't know what it is. I'll try and work it out by the end of
I think
this
it's the
innings.
wrist.
It's
gotta be.
It's a real wristy player. He's not going to go the switch hit, I don't think, in. Well, there's an appeal, but I don't think there's any interest from the umpire.
It's an interesting ploy, the no fine leg. He seems to be trying to hit every ball there instead of his usual over the boundary.
Correct, yeah. Well, in fairness, we have made this comment a couple of times. If you can hit the ball like he does with the breeze,
what are you
I
doing?
think I would be very tempted to try and hit them all for 6. But he doesn't. He looks at where fielders are and tries to hit them to different areas, and he's been keen to get this one over fine leg. That now he goes over cover. That's a heck of a shot. It'll only be 1, I think. So, but he genuinely can hit the ball, and it's one of the most overused phrases in cricket all the time, I think, doing this. Like, he's a 360 player. Certainly not a phrase that I've ever heard when describing my cricket.
What,
But,
mid-wicket?
yeah, I think I'm a 25-degree player. But there's 360 players. They love saying it. But this man,
This is
and I
genuine.
know that we've given him a lot of raps already, and we probably will continue whilst he's batting. But he genuinely can hit the ball wherever.
Yep. Well, if it wasn't for him, we would have been I would have been playing
it's
right
still
now.
a sour point, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, he's gone slow ball.
God, that was slow
That's
too.
really slow. Into the wicket.
I think
But
that's
it did Brown.
Brownie doesn't like the slow balls. I've heard. There's a rumour going around.
Really? That's the theory out there. Okay, well, it seems like they've done a little bit of research. They were here warming up as I was still sleeping this morning. The South boys, they'd started their warm up at 8:30 for an 11 o'clock game. It was an incredible warm up. He's gone in. Oh, wait, hang on, this will be hit. No, it's just a 1. It's been good variations here from Pajaya. That's his name. Tom Pajaya. He's gone slower ball, then that one was into the wicket, and that's a pretty good set, really. I know there was obviously that 1-6 Grill hit him for, but it's 2020, that can happen.
Poor old Brownie just can't find the middle today.
No, I mean, he's still
been able to
going
find
okay. He's 30 off 26, so he's got a basis where he can launch from. But you're right, he hasn't probably, I think for us too, because we've seen what he can do.
It's panic stations if he starts hitting it clean, isn't it?
That's exactly right. Now, I think it's going to be another bowler just to bowl 2 in a row here. This is Connor Corlett. Corlett.
The snake.
A very big TikTok song at one stage. He's in, and it's Brown again. Is munging this one to mid-wicket for a single. The poor bowler has to go fetch it. I think it's, not sure who's out there at mid-wicket. Could be our friend Jack, in fact.
Does look, yeah, that's
Beatty
Beatty out there.
Number 20.
At mid-wicket.
Wasn't interested in coming in and getting the ball. He's done his one good piece of fielding for the day, so he's checked out.
Floating around with his 3/4 sleeves on. Pretending he's punter.
Now, what field have we gone to here? There'll be 3 men out on the leg side. There's 4 in. He goes up, and this will be a chance, and it is out. Dismissed at deep mid-wicket. Connor Corlett gets the first wicket of the day. It is a huge one. It's the wicket of Addy Gruel. He's dismissed for 32 from 23 deliveries in an innings that is quality, but probably not as impressive as what we've seen over the last couple of days from him, which is a shame that you haven't got to see that. But it's, I think South's bowling plans and fields have made him do something probably a little bit outside of his game. Tried to take on the long boundary there and against the breeze and held out to deep mid-wicket, to big wicket, but tell you what, the man that's coming into bat for Pioneer Valley now, he can play the game as well. Don't worry about that. So you're still in for a show. This will be Steve McGiffin, who's also had an incredible tournament. In fact, I'll try and find some scores for him. He was very impressive in the...
He just about single-handedly beat our team.
Well, he's 32 off 15 in the semi-final. I know that there was another game against you guys. I think you ended up winning the Swin Seamers.
He nearly hit a 6 last ball to win.
That's right, and he had a big
22
over.
off the last over.
63 off 29 he scored in that game. He's had some serious starts. He missed out a couple of times, but clutch player, plays for West in Premier Grade cricket. Won't hold that against him. Do a little bit. In fact, it'd be nice if he played for someone else, maybe Redlands.
Oh, welcome to the Tiger Land.
Himself out to Tigers for a toasty. It's our main selling point, I think, when we go.
Yeah. It's your draw card.
Yeah, 100%. So what do you guys got, like coaching facilities? Don't worry about it. Just we do have toasties. Okay, yeah, no worries.
He's got the short boundary, old gift.
He does. Don't know whether he's taking it on straight away. And again, I like this field that Connor's gone for. He's just gone 3 out on the leg side. First ball to Steve McGiffin.
Oh, God.
Nice piece of timing. I'd love to walk out and hit the ball like that straight away. He's hit it too well. Straight to point for a dot. Connor Corlett's been impressive. Speaking of Glenn Battichotto yesterday, he said that he rates this man incredibly highly. Hasn't made the jump over to grade cricket yet, but that he will at some stage, he thinks. Very repeatable action. Nice run up. In he comes. It's McGiffin. It's really well timed again. But out to Jack Beath at mid-wicket. It'll just be the one. Steve McGiffin gets his innings underway. And you feel now with the wicket, Dylan, of Gruel that probably we need, and when I say we, I mean from a cricket spectating point of view, we need Josh Brown to now probably bat deeper into the innings, you would think.
Yep.
Thanks.
Brownie and Giff. I think you'll see the running increase too a bit.
Yeah, he's a
now that we've
he's an athlete.
Got 4 hamstrings out there.
That's right. Yes. Well, that's a good point. We've got all of the allocated hamstrings that are available, which is useful. Steve McGiffin is an athlete, very quick runner between wickets. Jay Brown probably prefers to hit them over the fence generally, but I think that between them,
he can get it done.
Yeah, a little bit of intensity. This breeze has picked up, I'm sure of it. It's short. It's not well timed, but it will be a quick single, and just never chance of running Steve McGiffin out. He's rapid. He's got a lot of Dylan McLaughlin about him in that facet.
In and out.
In and out. Turns well. It's the end of a very successful over for Connor Corlett. The wicket coming from it. And he wouldn't have gone for many runs either. I'd love to be a little bit more statistical for you than that. But the score is 1 for 70 after 9 overs. So they are going good. Pioneer Valley, 1 for 70. It's a great platform. However, if you're a Souths fan, I think you'd be reasonably happy as well, knowing that you've got the best batter probably throughout the tournament. He's back in the sheds. You won't see any more of him. Still a couple of big threats at the crease now, as we've talked about. And this is the end that I think we will definitely see some sixes from as the inning goes on. Dylan, as we're standing here, I'm always getting blown onto the field. It's not what anyone needs. So I feel like if you can get that ball up and in the breeze, that is going to carry.
Just get it up there.
Get it up there. Throw it up there, and it'll do the rest for you. Which is what we need. So we see a few of the boys rocking in, looking as dusty as I've ever seen. Straight in from the MCAI circuit. McGiffin will go. There's a potential 2 here. No, it'll just be the 1. Now, can we get a bowler's name here, actually, please, Dan? I'm surprised no one yelled that out.
Tom
Again? Yeah, right, okay, no worries. Yeah, that's not a shock.
Just Tom as well.
Pretty consistent with the bowlers going back to back with their overs here. Strap yourselves in here, I think, Dylan, because breeze blowing, Josh Brown threatening, Jay into bowl. Hit, not well timed, it'll just be 1, but the intent is there.
If he hits it anywhere near the middle, those 2 fielders out at Long On and Cow Corner are not in the game.
No, you're really just making up the numbers.
Watching him sail over your melon.
That's right, exactly. I would think, from my astute cricketing knowledge of the game, Dylan, that now I would think that McGiffin will probably be the one that looks to get himself in and bat for a longer period of time, and that Brown might try and pull the trigger.
So, but
That's a very slow delivery from Joe. It'll be a single. His changes of pace have been quality here.
have been good. I think it's key actually on this, because the wicket's playing so nice now. If it's just coming onto the bat, sliding on, you can see. I think we didn't in the semi-final last night against these guys. We didn't change up our pace quite enough, I reckon, and then they sort of just got in a rhythm of hitting it over the fence. So.
And that's not a rhythm that you're after.
No,
as a
not really.
It is not what you're looking for. And that's really well bowled. He's going at the feet, which is a nice change up as well. McGiffin's pushing in and out, but it's well fielded. I'm not sure who they've got at mid-wicket there.
Look like Beatty again.
It's Beatty again.
He's everywhere.
Just to getting the money's worth out of Beatty. He's going deep mid-wicket to deep mid-wicket here. So he's really lifted as a fielding unit. If this was Valleys, there's no chance he's doing those yards.
No, he's throwing overthrows. That's what he's doing.
I think if we could get Andrew Godey, his skipper, on the phone, he'd have some great words to say about Jack Beath. And McGiffin's going in there now. There's a chance of 2 here. I think he's got it nicely into the gap. He's going. He's keen. Brown is struggling. No, he's not. He's made it easily. It'll be 2. I've been really impressed with this set from Pajay though, and I agree with your point, Dylan. I think the fact that the wicket's so good now, just bowling cutters is not good enough. It's actually not sticking in the wicket. It's not getting much out of that. That will continue to slide onto the bat quite well. What Pajay's done is bowl balls that are, I don't think the last delivery would have been going fast enough to knock off the bails. He's changed his pace down so substantially that you can see that the batters are really having to check their swing. I think that's key. And now jams one straight to the block hole to finish.
Another slow ball, I think that was.
And that's a great set.
Bowling well through the middle here, these Connor and
It's been
Tom,
incredible. And as we've talked about it, they've thrown sort of the 2020 cricketing book out the door in terms of changing your bowlers and doing funky things. They're literally just stacking 3 in a row. Every bowler's bowled 3 in a row. Connor's going to go for his 3rd in a row here, but I don't think there's any need to change because no one's really got met.
Not getting a hold
from
of
a
it,
bowling
are they?
perspective. Pajay has been outstanding, and then Connor's into his 3rd over. He's going to 8 and over, which in 2020 cricket's probably quite reasonable, to be fair. They've still got Don White to bowl.
He's got 1 left.
1, yep, which he'll be used, you would think, at the back end. Connor in for his 3rd over the start now. Brown happy to block the ball to cover and take a single. See, I just think they might have identified that the other end is where they want to hit from here, Dylan.
Yeah, I think Gift's going to start going hard. I don't think Brownie's actually quite hitting it that well, so
No,
I think he might play that anchor role and sort of hope for Gift to whack him over the boundary because he's been striking him quite well the whole tournament, to be fair.
Right. Jay Brown. It was McGiffin on strike, sorry. And it could be a run-out chance here. He's not going to throw at the stumps. He did throw at the stumps, but Brown makes it quite comfortably. You're right, though. He just seems like he needs to get a couple of balls out of the screws to get himself going here, Brownie. It's not an innings that you usually, if Josh Brown's normally faced 31 deliveries, you're probably thinking he's on
70
yeah,
or upwards.
70, in excess of 70, that's right. But as you said, he's just making sure that he bats for a long time here, I think. He's ramped now. He's ramped and been bowled.
It's just not his game, is it?
No.
You can hit it the furthest in the whole competition. I don't think you're ramping, are you? Unless you...
I think
we can't really hit it out of the square, so
yeah, I'd ramp it, but that's because that's my most powerful shot.
Can actually get at the boundary.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's yeah, you're right. But I mean, the ramp, obviously, successful shot. Lots of people play it really, really well. I think the breeze has thrown him a little bit. The fact that it's going so strong that direction. They had fine leg and 3rd man up, so the shot's definitely on. But it's a really good piece of bowling, I think, from Connor Corlett, who's worked hard. His 3 overs have been really impressive, and he just probably had the better of Josh Brown there. Someone that just couldn't get his timing, and it'll be Jared Sipple, I think, that comes in to bat and get the left-hand, right-hand combination going.
I think Sipple looked to rotate the strike as well. So then, once again, Gift's got to probably take a lead role in.
I think the thing is, though, that they just probably want their best batters batting for a long period of time. And the 20 overs, they probably need these two to bat until the 15th or 16th over. That's the thing. And probably that's the reason that Josh Brown didn't bat in his fashion, where he's normally just pretty sort of trying to get everything moving quite quickly. I think he probably realises that if he can bat deep, they're going to get a decent score. And the other thing is that finals, playing from in front, you're setting a total. It's just something weird about chasing in a final. It just starts to become harder and harder.
Runs on the board.
Runs on the
They'll
board.
get
It's
ya.
an old adage, but just it does get tough. It's simple to face the end of Corlette's over.
Got a golden last night, Sip, so he's also due.
He did, that's right. He was bowled by Preston White. Wicket coming on very nicely. I watched Sybil hit in the throwdowns in the warm-up this morning, and I just was incredibly jealous because I know that when I hit throwdowns, they look horrible.
Is
He
the other
walked out and was teeing them up. I mean, they don't bowl full tosses in games. Well, they're not trying to. But
he's got an unbelievable eye. So
yeah,
just country kid.
really
Comes through the ranks.
squeezing hard at point there, but McGiffin and Sybil, these two, the one thing they will do incredibly well is run very, very well between the wickets. I know that watching West, who they both play for in white ball cricket in Brisbane, something that they do better than anyone in the competition is their ability to just get a run wherever they hit it. So these two will definitely be hard to bowl dot balls to. That's a nice shot. That beats cover. There will still be one. But Sipil's
God.
underway, or will it be two? A little misfield out there at cover.
I don't feel like there was a need for the one-handed pickup.
The one
Literally, it was
hand,
just one, wasn't
the
it?
charging, just the old keep it simple mentality. But it's the end of a great over again. Corlett, he's taken 2 for 22 from his 3. And I think he'd be going 4 in a row for him. I can't see a reason to stop unless they want him to have one at the death. But
Middle overs are generally the toughest time to bowl, aren't they? And
yeah, absolutely.
seems to be doing a good job of
He's
it.
doing a great job. I think we're going to see the same bowler here again. Or are we seeing someone different?
No, the left hand.
Harrison Holmes is the left arm quick.
Holmesy.
And he'll be bowling to Steve McGiffin, who's just getting the sight screen changed down there. I wouldn't say that it's going overly successfully at the moment. There's some sort
Struggle
of snag.
strength.
Dean will probably have to be on the tools down there again as well, sorting that out. WD-40 can in hand already. And no, the boys they've worked their way through it. That's a real lesson for those
Problem
out there.
solving.
Perseverance. The lessons that you learn at MCAI cricket competitions. Outstanding. Holmes. Into McGiffin.
Oh.
It's a lovely piece of bowling. He's gone wide Yorker. It's the first time I've seen Steve McGiffin miss time one for the last 5 years. So that's a great piece of bowling to start. He's in with the dot ball as well. South's performance with the ball here, Dylan, is hats off. I don't know, potentially like it's an easy game from here, where the wicket looks impressive. It looks like it's coming through nicely, but we haven't really seen anyone probably have that same timing as last night, where it was a bit dewy and skidding on.
Sliding into the middle of the bat. Oh,
Oh,
God.
well, he's fallen over as he bowled. He's almost copped it in the head.
I
which is
thought it was going
not what you're after.
straight back at him.
But he'd be happy with just the single again, and there was a clear intent there from McGiffin to try and get after him.
I think that will be the ploy down with the wind, as we spoke about.
We're into obviously the 12th over now, aren't we? 12 overs. No, this will be the 12th, apologies. 2 for 83 is the score. Sipil on strike. As you said, he can be sort of play both those roles, Dylan. He can be quite busy and make sure that he's rotating the strike, but that he can hit a long ball too. He's got a short boundary here. Into the wicket. It's very well bowled from Harrison Holmes, Sherlock's brother. Great detectives.
Oh.
And there's real atmosphere starting to build here. I have to say, the Great Barrier Reef Arena, and what an arena it is, but the crowd is starting to flock in. I'm looking over at the beer garden. It's a Monday, public holiday. What a day. It's in, and that's well struck, but it's straight to cover. It'll be another dot ball for Harrison Holmes, who's been impressive thus far. Pioneer Valley just needing a partnership here, you'd think. We don't really know. I mean, I can get your thoughts, Dylan. We'll see how stupid we are, but any thoughts on a pass score? What's defendable here?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think Souths are the deepest batting lineup from what I've seen so far in the tournament, but they've got obviously a few guns. You got Beatty, who's been striking them unbelievably. I think he hit his first 2 balls of the first 2 games for 6. So.
Correct, and make sure you are tuning in for the first ball of the second innings, because Jack Beath has a theory that he's told me about, that he tries to hit every first ball of the game for 6 because he thinks it's like a hunter, like a hunter versus the hunted type of mentality. He thinks that the bowler is trying to find his way into the game.
We'll float it up there, place it.
Yeah. McGiffin now. And that's, again, very well hit. There could be 2 here. Sybil's quick between the wickets. He won't get back. It's well fielded out there.
I think he could have got back to me.
I think so too. That's a wonderful over if that's the end of it.
Probably
Holmes. Holmes.
Probably want Giff on strike anyway.
Yes.
Got the short boundary over here towards the players' tent.
That's right. The score is 2 for 84, probably 85 now, if that hasn't updated, I don't think. 2 for 85 after 12. And still a pretty fair launch pad for Pioneer Valley, as we've talked about. We're going to see an introduction of spin bowling, I think, here. No? The keeper's still back, so that's probably a poor call from me.
The floppy's still on.
The floppy's still on, that hasn't changed. It hasn't put the lid on yet, so it won't be spin, but it will be off a fairly short run-up. Dean, can you tell us anything about that? What's his name, sorry?
Eddie.
Edward Cullen. Here we go, he's in for his first. He's taken a lot
that looks tough to face, to be honest with you.
Really interesting. There's a lot of pace taken off the ball.
Or was that regulation?
Maybe that's regular. He's running back to
That's regulation. Doesn't look pretty to face, and it's definitely not.
It's not spin, is it? But it's
definitely not pace.
No, yeah, and that's beat cover. This could be a chance. It'll be some work, and it's probably a moment that the poor fielder here at Long Off would rather forget. What it is a wonderful piece of timing from McGiffin. He beat the fielder at cover. This is definitely very stoppable, but it's one of those ones where after a big weekend in the field, your hamstring's not quite as loose as you need them to be, and he just hasn't got the old lumbar section of his spine working there to get down and stop it. And that will probably go the journey, I would think it is. There is a 6 to McGiffin.
Hasn't really timed it, but you can still see that breeze holding it up.
Yeah, well, you're exactly right. I thought
boundary.
he got it, but it hasn't cleared the boundary by that much. I think this breeze is going to have a reasonably big impact. So it's a good piece of hitting from McGiffin, because it's probably not the end he wants to go from Edward Cullen. And that's
that looks
very
terrible to
slow.
face.
Very, very slow ball, but it's quality by Cullen. I like what he's asking, just making the batsmen generate all their own pace, essentially. He sort of runs in quite quickly, and then the ball stops and gets held up. He's bowling with the breeze too.
Not utilising it.
No, certainly not using his intimidation tactics, I don't think. Be Sybil on strike.
I think you've almost got to play him like a spinner, don't you?
I think so, yeah. There it is. That's
God.
Oh no,
That's out.
This will be out. He's hit it. He's hit it straight to deep square leg.
God.
Very unusual dismissal. I'm sorry, I haven't given you that much excitement there, but I really see. I don't know what happened.
It's a sorry cricket moment,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's just an unusual piece of cricket. It's a big wicket, because Sipple is someone that, if he gets going, he really bumps that score up, probably to about 150-ish. It was just that slow delivery. It's probably a question mark on, no, not really. No one seemed to argue about whether it was a no ball or not. It was literally just a knee-high full toss that was hit straight to the fielder at square leg.
Square leg.
A great catch. It's a big wicket, as we talked about. The new batsman into the crease will be Mitchell Drennan, I believe. Head to bat at 5, the wicket of Jared Sipple brings him to the crease, but they do still have, well, though in my cricket they've said that Steve McGiffin's out, which is not quite correct, so let me just alleviate everyone's concerns there. The batsman did cross, it'll be McGiffin still on. 3 for 95 after 12.4 overs, 2 balls to come in this one.
How's that toasty going down, Jono?
Yeah, it's going to be frozen by the time I get to eat that, unfortunately. But I'm still very appreciative of it, Dean. Thank you for grabbing that. Yeah, well, I just don't think that the viewers that we've got are going to enjoy.
Oh no, that's also devastating. Absolutely, I do. Thanks.
They didn't cross, actually. Sorry, Dylan. So it'll be Drennan to start, and it'll be a single to get him underway.
Nice.
That's a really good over by Edward Cullen. I feel like Edward Cullen is the name of a famous character, or
something, isn't
it
it?
A Twilight guy or something? Or, I don't know what I'm thinking of, but anyway, that's a great set by him. And it'll be 3 for 96 at the end of the 13th over. Potentially 97, I just heard over the loudspeaker. So either that guy knows more than I do, or yes, he does. 3 for 97.
How many overs?
The score. After 12.6, which is sometimes also known as 13, I think.
It is.
And we have again Harrison Holmes, whose first over only went for 3 runs. Okay. We've got some issues, technical issues. Few and far between so far in MCAI, but we may be struggling for some power here, but we'll just keep going, Dylan, do what we do. It'll be Drennan to face Holmes, left arm into the wicket.
Oh, God.
And a grenade by the looks. It's a serious delivery.
Wonder if it's starting to hit those divots that were created in the first few games.
Well, that's right. Just everything's going here with
the breeze.
Chaos with this breeze.
Wonder if the ball will follow the trend.
What he does have is a very long run-up too, Harrison. So I think last night in one of the semi-finals there was a couple of over-rate penalties, if I'm not mistaken.
That was not for this team, that was for the team that versed in the red team.
It was the red team, was it? Okay, yeah. So
the 5-run
for North for 5-run penalty for over-rate, but South will have to be careful too, because Harrison is running in from home.
Brett Lee's run up.
Right. He's pushing off the side screen. He's getting some hustle on now. What does McGiffin do here? This is interesting, I think.
He's got to go, doesn't he? 12 overs.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. 2020 is always longer than you think.
Yeah. Playing the 8 overs, you think, God, you got to go from ball 1, but...
And he has sort of gone. He's only going to get the 1. He struggled to time Holmes from this end, I think, McGiffin.
I think you need Gift to stay in too for the long haul.
That's sort of the point that I was going to make. I think they're in a situation now where they actually probably need him batting still in the 16th, 17th over, really, to be able to fully take toll. Drennan can sort of be busy at the other end, but it's a wicket that they really can't afford to lose. Oh, and this will be a chance, I think. You're just going to struggle to run out McGiffin, though. He's backing up a long way.
He makes him from anywhere.
Yeah, he's rapid. Seriously quick. But Holmes, again, will be very happy with this over. He's gone for singles off every ball, I believe. No, and there was even a dot ball in there. So if he can get out of this over with it only costing 5 or 6, that's a great
Massive play.
McGiffin will be on strike. McGiffin has other ideas. He's cut it behind point. It'll beat third man.
Beautiful shot.
It's a lovely shot, and it just goes to show that you don't necessarily just have to get it up in that breeze, Dylan. There are other options as well. He's gone.
Short boundary. Outfield's still running, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Rapid.
And I don't know that's... I think he's probably almost double bluffed the bowler there, because you're thinking that your danger is getting hit with breeze down the ground. He's got short and wide of off stump, and we're off.
Ah.
Right, we'll pause.
We're off. I'm going to go get a drink quickly.
I think that's definitely fair. I'm going to eat this.
So she's just dropped out, so you'll be right for a bit.
Pause for a bit,
In. I didn't put sugar in that. I didn't put sugar in, I wasn't sure.
No, that's fine with it. Thank you.
So what is this running off for?
I mean, it was very fun, but then I was like, this is not going to go well.
As soon as I got there, where's the power into that?
I was like, I like the bloke. I'm sitting, yeah. I'm literally sitting here.
I had that run forward. I sat there.
Oh.
So why isn't this being charged?
It is, so that's connected to that which is going.
Yes.
So
So it shouldn't run out, though.
yeah, it shouldn't, and it didn't yesterday. There we go. Alright, I'm up and going. Yep. Still saying change battery. It's all good here. Like it's running off here. There you go. There's no spare. to the battery pack, do you want to connect this to the cover?
What's that?
Do you want to connect this extension cord to the...
To the actual camera?
Yeah.
Power would be better,
Yeah.
but I'm just trying to see.
Because I reckon that battery pack will be fine to go the rest of this game.
You haven't actually a separate button to charge.
To charge the camera, you have to...
Is that it?
Fix that.
So what's that?
Yeah. Is this the... No. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, this one's over.
Is it...
Oh, don't get fouling.
Okay.
Okay. Just hope that doesn't run out. Otherwise, you need a double adapter. And we can plug both in.
No, it should be good.
Dan, you want in? Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We have lost Dylan. This could be a run out.
Trouble.
I think.
Big
It
trouble.
is. That's a huge,
Straight back into the
huge.
stream, and that is an enormous wicket.
That's a huge wicket. Oh, it's
I'll
just,
claim that, I'd say.
I think there's some issues there. It's a shame because the batsman running to the non-striker's end, where you probably think is obviously the man running to the danger end, he made it comfortably. But unfortunately for McGiffin, who's the batsman that they really need to be batting for a long period of time, he couldn't get back to the far end, throwing with the breeze. Dan, I need to welcome Dan, obviously. We've lost Dylan. He seized the opportunity as soon as the stream went out. He's gone straight back to the bar, which is not a surprise for those that know Dylan. But in his place, we have got Dan coming in to make his commentary debut as well. And as we spoke about, we've seen a wicket already.
Pleasure to be here. That's one for me.
Yeah,
I'd say it. I think it'll be an exciting game of cricket from here on in.
I think so
But,
as well.
a smart piece of fielding there to throw to the keeper's end. It's always a nice little surprise for the batsman running away from the ball.
It's a great throw. The keeper had nothing to do. It was right next to the stumps. It was a simple sort of rip 'em off situation. McGiffin probably didn't have quite the same timing as we just spoke about when the stream was out, and just about the fact that this wicket, it seems like no one's exactly got their timing on it, you wouldn't say. And I think this is what will test Pioneer Valley now. We know their top four are elite. They've now got probably 4 overs to navigate. I think I've lost my phone here actually. I don't know where I'm going. There's Yeah, so
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how the middle order goes about these last 4 overs.
I think we
Here
might be
it-
seeing Mitch Doolan now. Is that right?
I believe we are. Yes, he
Oh, there could be another run out here. I think no, it's well run.
he played a very good knock against the Flint Tropics yesterday afternoon to get them into the semi-finals.
He did actually. Yeah, I
Hit
remember.
the winning runs with a 6.
I watched that that innings, and what was good because you guys had really tried to squeeze quite hard on him and make sure that he had to actually hit it aggressively, and he was happy to take it on. So he's probably more renowned for his 2-day cricket, I think.
Yeah, well and truly capable on this ground in this format.
And that will be
And
out
that's quite well
as
bowled.
well. They caught behind, so this has been a huge over now for it is Connor Corlett that's bowling. He's picked up his 3rd wicket. It's his final over, and this has been a massive game changer. I think would be 5 wickets down now. The batter dismissed is Mitch Drennan. Mitch Doolan is the not out batter, and we're now going to see a couple of blokes that genuinely haven't had a stick this whole tournament come out to bat and for this last 3 overs of the innings. I'm not entirely sure of who we have actually coming out to bat, but we'll get that information for you.
I think that's probably a testament to the wicket, that last wicket as well, Dreno. Is a good length delivery, just hitting the wicket hard, has still managed to find an edge this deep in the innings.
Absolutely, and he's been very impressive, this man, Connor Corlett, and you're right, he's sort of used the wicket as his variation, essentially, and just gone. You can see that it looks from here like it's getting through quite quick. Still great carry, and he found the edge on the way through, and now the reason that there's such big wickets is, even though he wasn't on many runs, I guess the other batsman, Mitch Drennan, after the run out was probably the set batter that needed to be able to go on with it and get it going quickly. Now we've got 2 brand newies out there.
Exactly right.
Although that's
He
a pretty
struck
good
that
start
well
for
for
whoever
one.
this man is. Has anyone been able to give us some intel on who we're watching bat here? Number 91 for Pioneer Valley. Tim Cridland. Timothy A. Cridland is the new batter, and he started well.
One of the local boys.
There he
Very
is,
good, the
okay.
hometown hero.
First bat, I think,
Here
of
to
the
steer
tournament.
his home side.
Doolan now goes. That might be a dot ball. You can see they're really trying to stack those dots on the 2 fresh and brand new batsmen. I think that's where South have been very good tactically, is they've been aggressive now. It's the 17th over, but they know that there's 2 probably not noted hitters, and they want to steal as many dot balls here as possible.
And you can see where the field is set. They've absolutely taken away the single option in the offside there. Point is a long way in from the 30-metre circle.
Oh, and this is another chance. I think mid-wicket moves in, but it's Jack Beath there that Steven Spielberged it, so there's no run-out chance.
Knock on 6 again.
Knock on 6 again. Having said that, just great to see Jack still out there. I thought 20 overs might be beyond him. Concentration levels, he has gone missing for probably the last 4. He was really good for the first 6, but you will get to see him bat in a couple, probably 20 minutes time, I think, and that's probably something you do want to tune in. I think he'll have a big role to play if Souths to get the chocolates, so to speak, later on
That's
in
a
the day.
nice little plug.
Yeah,
But
it's a good podcast from what I've heard.
He absolutely does have some form on the first ball of the innings so far this tournament. So
We
it will
actually
be-
have. We've made
it will
that.
be
We
action
made that
packed.
bet. Dylan
Yeah.
and I said, well, we spoke to Jack about his theory of why he tries to hit every first ball for 6. He's trying to be the great white shark, just predator. He reckons that bowlers are feeling their way in.
That's exactly right. And you can certainly say from a bowler's point of view, your only aim as first ball of innings just
Get
put
it
it
on
on
the pitch.
the white stuff. So
Well, to be fair, I thought that getting the ball on the pitch was like a reasonably easy task. 3 times I've seen this week from reasonable bowlers that miss the cut stuff completely. I mean, we're in May, and it's probably the off season, but there's genuinely just missing the pitch.
I think we've been playing a lot of E8 cricket this week, and I think that's the beauty of it. It's very daunting for a bowler when
What, to hit the wicket?
well, you just know if you get it in their half, they're going to be swinging very hard.
Yeah, that's right.
So as much as you're concentrating on everything that you can control as a bowler, you're also a little bit fearful in your follow through that one's going to come straight back at your forehead.
That's very fair. Well, we almost saw that Harrison Holmes was bowling. He fell over before, and he almost copped one back in the head as well. So now a little bit of an update back on the actual cricket game that we are watching. The score is 5 for 128. We've seen 17 overs worth of action. The two batters are Mitch Doolan and Timothy Cridland, and I think it will be Cridland on strike now. This is Bajaya bowling, and he's been thumped down the ground. I think it'll just be one. Doolan's pushing hard, 1 run. Remember, they do still have Don White to bowl an over as well, and Dixon, who was the other opening bowler. They got some options here. I thought Harrison Holmes was pretty impressive. Bajaya's figure's not bad either.
Bajaya bowled some really important overs through the middle there, I think, to really put in the middle of a partnership to put some pressure back on them.
Now that is up and in a gap. And it'll be, is that 4 or 6?
That'll scoot across 4 runs, I believe.
Now, we've given him a massive rap there. I don't think that's actually where he would have wanted to bowl that one. If there's one, he's gone into the wicket, but just too short, you'd have to say there.
Yeah, that one's definitely hit and held there. It's, I think on this pitch, and it's probably been the case all weekend, is if you bowl short of a length, it's just going to sit there and it's asking. It's hit me balls.
That's
much
better
better
length,
bowling.
isn't it? Yeah. Knocked down the ground from Doolan. They're pushing hard. He's gonna know Cridland. I thought he was coming back there. It's well fielded. You can see the field that they've got is really set up for you, obviously, to have to hit the ball quite straight as a batter. But then the one place where there is a gap is definitely square legs. Square legs up in the ring, and there's a big gap there, sort of between mid wicket and fine leg out on the boundary. So, yeah. And that's. Okay.
Really well bowled. Really well bowled.
Wow. It was really
a slower
slow.
ball that's probably hit the return crease, I'd say,
Yeah.
from this angle.
I agree. He had it wide. It was sort of one of those ones where the batsman was in two minds about whether to play a shot at it or not. Elected not to, and the umpire, as you said, and they just actually made that field change.
We have just made that field change there. So certainly a field set for straight full bowling here.
Oh, he's got it. He's hit it down the ground. It'll just be 1 to the fielder at long on. And that is the end of the over, in fact. Get a quick score update for you there. 5 for 135. And we have 2 overs to come. The 19th and the 20th. So I think at this stage, Pioneer Valley probably happy with something of the 155 type of nature is what they're after.
And it's a tale as old as time, isn't it? However many runs you got on the board are going to be enough in a final. There's always going to be pressure on.
It's massive pressure. And we're actually going to see Don White bowl. Are we? Is that Don? I think that's Don White that's going to bowl the penultimate over here, the 19th, and it's probably, I would have thought that they might close with Don at the other end, where they're hitting
He'll
with
be
the
running
breeze,
with a very stiff breeze at his back.
Oh, and we've got a false start. False start. I think the music was still going. The umpire recognised didn't want that to be in the head of the batsman. It's just great umpiring. You don't give them the credit they deserve sometimes, but they're just all over it.
We often pick on them for their bad decisions, but it's...
Oh, and that's right in the block
Really
hole.
well
That's
bowled.
a quality piece of bowling from Don White. He'll get a dot ball. Starts the 19th in that fashion.
It's even though the batters will be hitting to a really short leg side boundary here, it's still quite an intimidating boundary to try and hit with such a stiff breeze in your face.
Agreed. And I think that's the reason you're seeing batters try and deflect and use the pace. And that's going to be a single that was well
Squeezed
bowled.
out to cover.
Don White's gone slower ball there. And one thing that Don does do is he's obviously his fast ball, his full on pace delivery is quite quick, especially with this breeze at his back. But his changes of pace are quality. Sometimes I think they're accidental as well, which he doesn't even know he's doing them, which is quite useful. The batter doesn't know what's coming.
It's one of the great skills that a select few bowlers have is just not knowing where it's going to go.
Correct.
And some of the greatest have been able to utilise that extremely well.
Absolutely. Now Pioneer Valley here, the one thing they are doing well is that they're getting runs off every ball. The worst thing here, I guess, with your sort of premier bowler is if you're getting dot balls, that can really hurt at this stage. It'll be White in again. And as I've said that, there is a dot.
great curse.
Yeah, one of the
It
great
strikes
curses.
again.
See, this is the time where I think you're running buys, like you're starting to think about really backing up hard at the non-strikers end, trying to put them under as much pressure as possible. Pioneer Valley just need one ball to go for 4 and a nick past the keeper or something just to build that total to something that they'll be quite happy with. They're going to get one here. I think it's
It's really smart bowling, really slow and full.
Yep.
Making the batters put all the pace on it into the breeze. It's going to be a really tough ask to deposit that anyway.
And you're exactly right. And then even if you are trying to sort of, bring in your ramp or your late cut or whatever it might be, there's not enough pace on it to get it to go for 4. He's gone over cover here. I think it'll be a chance, and it's dropped, and they're going to get back for 2. If there's one criticism you would make of the South's performance, the bowling's been magnificent. The fielding, we've certainly seen them produce better. There's probably the 3rd chance that's gone down.
Probably another case of low hands, you'd have to think. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Just the hands from sitting underneath. And I don't know the science behind this, Dan, but I find that once one person drops them, that can set a tone for just everyone dropping them after that.
It seems to happen in clubs, doesn't it?
That's right. Now this will be the final over. I'm not sure who's going to bowl it.
Number 15 striding up to the task.
Number 15. It's 5 for 140, as we talked about. If it's 150 that they can get this to, you'd be happy with the runs on the board as a Pioneer Valley supporter. It's not H. Holmes. We can rule that out. It's not Edward Cullen. So you would have to think it's Dixon. Would I be right in saying this is Dixon closing? It is Dixon. He bowled 3 at the front. He's gone straight to his feet. They are going to run a bye now.
Bowled.
That's magnificent bowling. I'll tell you what, that is not a bad piece of keeping either, because that's gone between his legs, I reckon.
Somehow missed the stumps.
Yeah.
He's done well to watch that all the way in and still get a release on it.
As you talked about Doolan, we saw hit that 6 yesterday, and he's probably targeting that exact same area, I think.
You'd have to think so. I think the blueprint's there.
Yeah.
You'd say the yardage, even though the boundaries are quite skewed with the wicket sitting where it is on the block, the yardage is probably fairly similar. You're probably taking a pitching wedge in both directions.
Absolutely. I think that's probably one that he would have felt like he could get to. You can see that it was right there. It was full, those full tosses.
Shin high fully.
I mean, we used to remember, like when we first started playing 2020 cricket, people used to say they were the hardest ball to hit. Since then, people got very good at hitting them. But obviously, Doolan missing out there. Dixon's gone 2 on-pace deliveries in for his 3rd ball of the over. That's into the wicket, and it's nailed.
That's big.
Well, that's up there with Nathan Reardon's type of 6, I think. Could be bigger than Reardo's, in fact. I'm happy to tell him.
Reardo will be making arguments that he's still probably, although Batty did hit, probably did catch Reardo a couple of times yesterday and pipped him to the post.
Well, Reardo sent me a message saying, I'll be there soon, just looking for that 6 I hit. So he's actually out the back somewhere. I'm not entirely sure if he's come back yet.
I've heard that Nathan's managed to get himself on a little fishing charter this morning, but I think...
and that will be up. This will be a catching chance. It's in the breeze. They haven't been easy to catch, and they still aren't easy to catch.
It does happen in clumps, as we said. It's the 4th to go down this innings. That's
the 4th, and that's Don White down there at long on. I mean, in reality, it probably doesn't matter that much here in the sort of last over, because, well, I mean, actually, to be fair,
it could have been a dot ball. It could have been a dot ball, but
it's more important. Let's cancel that. I'm rescinding that comment. That was a poor comment.
the follow-up ball here is all important. That's where the test will be.
And it's well struck, but it's really well
probably got away with the drop there. Yeah. It could have been very disappointing if that one got deposited as well.
That's right. Now, that was Cridlin, I think, that nailed it, was it? That nailed that 6, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So they're 5 for 151 with just the one ball to come. And
he's got to be lining up Cowboy there, you'd think.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a real momentum changer if he can get this one. Steps across, gets it flat and in the gap, they'll have to come back for two. I think Crithen's on his bike. He'll get there.
He's done it easily.
Oh, and he's been hit as well. It's all happening.
That's the sacrifices you make for the team. It's all important. There's a lot of money on the line here.
Well, it's
People
probably
are
something
willing
we
to take
haven't
body blows.
referenced enough. And yes, that's exactly right. That's something that we do need to bear in mind is we're actually playing for cash here. In fact, it is called the Bash for Cash, so it just makes sense. And we will be right back with that action, the T20 Bash for Cash, in a couple of minutes' time to watch South Sharks chase 153. 5 for 153 Pioneer Valley finish with. We'll be back with you.
Make sure you're back in time for the first ball.
Jack Beats' first ball coming soon. Thank you. Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
lives. Is that what it is today?
Yeah, it seemed that way.
If you bat well, you might get 3.
Wow. I'd love to be able to sit down. It's going to be hard to see through the jail
Yeah.
cell.
Might have to make a comment on how the warm-ups have developed through the weekend.
Yeah. There was nothing
As the cash has come
That's
closer.
right. Generally, at the first game, people didn't even warm up.
Where'd you warm up for
No.
the single game? We got it 10 minutes before the first game. Against you.
That's right. Yeah.
Brecky took an hour to come out. Yeah, I won't be shouting out whilst on board.
What's weirdo doing? Fishing charter.
Fishing.
Oh, that's dead.
I was about to sting him and say the only thing he's been fishing for this weekend is compliments.
Yeah. Alright, where are we then?
When do you fly back?
Well, seems like 7.
Right.
Yeah, so. Who's going? Is that Sipple?
With the ball.
It looks like Sipple. Oh, we need these boys back that know the teams.
Yeah, we need the scorers.
Yeah.
Team list.
5-1, 5-3. I don't know if that's. I think it's Sipple. Yeah, it is, definitely. He's buying offies. Are we on here? Yep. Seems that way.
Live?
Are we live? Yep. Good. Okay. Nice. Let's assume we are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Great Barrier Reef Arena for the second innings of action. I'm Lee Drennan. I'm here with Dan Carney. We are back and ready to go. It is Jack Beath on strike as they look to chase 153. Oh, and he
Has tried.
He tried.
He
We could be a run out.
absolutely has tried.
Well, what a start. We made mention in
A
the
closer
first
throw
innings.
was going to be very, very tight there.
Correct. We talked about Jack Beath's theory, and I don't think that we've seen this man bowl in the 8 over games. This is Jared Sipple, who will spear in some off spinners, quite quick and darty. I think they maybe like the 2 left-handed batters match up potentially.
I'd say so, and certainly trying to just get the first over through and try and sneak it past the batters.
You're exactly
Flown in
right.
the face of Beathy's philosophy, but they've got him off strike and they could be trying to squeeze this one through.
Being serious, I think he'll wait on. I think it's actually a really good point you make. We haven't seen anyone start with spin to Beathy. He's been happy to take down sort of fast bowlers or medium pace bowlers for the whole week. No one's had a crack with the spin, so this will be interesting to see his plan. He's whipped that to short fine leg. He's going to get run out. He is out, I believe.
That is out.
Oh, that's a massive,
That's
massive
enormous.
moment in the game. And holy Moses, there's 15 people from Pioneer Valley running on that. I think they've won, have they? They know it's yes. No. Oh, they're just
I
water
think we've
carriers.
got a lot of drinks going out for the third ball of the match.
I think, yeah, boys. I don't know if they're that thirsty. That's a huge wicket, though.
Now, I think we've got the captain coming in now at
Sean
number
Austin,
3,
is it?
Sean Austin. He scored some very important runs last night.
Correct. I just can't highlight the importance of that wicket. I think Jack Beath, if he had his time again, it's 20 overs. You just probably have more time than you think. He was very eager to get away there. It's a wonderful piece of fielding. That again, the throw, there was a chance for a run out the first ball. The throw there.
Again, the keeper had to do very little.
Nothing.
He had his work done for him there, didn't he?
And the umpire took
excellent
some time.
service.
Yeah, it looked from here, I mean, just a horrible angle, but it looked like he was struggling to make it if it was a good throw. He just got himself too far down the wicket, the point of no return, I think, and then with the throw being that close, it was very quick to get the bails off. As we said, it's a big moment in the game. Having said that, Austin, I believe, won the player of the tournament in MCAI cricket this year. He'll face his first ball now. Sybil goes wide on the crease and gets a dot.
A classic case of early in the innings, early in the game. Your adrenaline's up, you middle the ball and you just want to set off.
Yeah, absolutely. You just want to get going and get away and have a great start. I genuinely think it's a brave move from Pioneer Valley to bowl a spinner, and it's massively paid off.
Paid off in a massive way there. Not only have they snuck the first over through, they've got the biggest wicket of the game, you'd have to think.
Yeah. And it did feel like, I think we made the comment saying, I think 150 is about probably even slightly under par, given what Pioneer Valley had in the bank, and that South would have walked off incredibly happy with their bowling performance. But I think a lot sort of hinged on Beathy's impact on the game, and so that's a massive scalp for them. And what we're going to see now
looks
is
like
another
they're doubling
spin.
down.
Yeah.
They're doubling down on the spin. This is.
I think what I like about that is they've actually put some thought in and gone, this is how we believe the wicket's playing.
You can see it's a team with a plan.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. There's not just like your classic, we'll just bowl and do whatever we've done. They've genuinely gone. And Sybil hasn't, as we said, Sybil hasn't bowled in the tournament, but that's a quality over. And this man actually has bowled very well. That man, Nathan Reardon, that we spoke about, this was the man who...
Big scalp.
Yeah, he probably ruined your chances, didn't he, yesterday? Kind of starts with the dot ball there. Straight to
quite impressive for this format. He's a nice, tall left arm ortho, and he'll bowl it into the wicket, and that's where he got rid of. Is he just really skidded one through and got one just to catch the bottom edge. Quite a big scalp for him, but
love the shot, isn't it? That's Connor. This is Connor.
Really
Carroll.
nice timing.
He didn't really overhit that either, did he? He just let the bowler's made a mistake. He's gone short, and rather than sort of premeditating to try and hit it leg side, he's just nailed it through point, where obviously all the fielders are up on the offside.
And he's found the short boundary there. If you're hitting along the carpet in that direction, it doesn't take much at all.
Correct.
Take the wind out of the equation.
He follows up. It's a great comeback from Zan and Jay. Follows with a dot. But I think this is a great end for the spinners to be bowling to those lefties. It's a big boundary. It's against the breeze. If you can get it up above the eye line and ask them to take you on, there's going to be wickets here. He has taken it on. It'll just be one to long on though.
That's smart bowling.
Yeah.
Very smart bowling. He's absolutely bowling to his field there. He does have to be stump to stump here.
And I think from what we've seen of someone like Austin, he's very good with his sweeping and using sort of the pace that the bowler delivers. I don't know if he's going to be the man that will take him on straight back.
Fine leg up, and the deep man leg side is quite straight out of count, so
it could be a sweep here.
Sweeper certainly on.
Oh, it's really well bowled. It's that stump to stump line that you were talking about there. And it's not a bad setting to go for that one boundary, but again, you're in the power plays, minimal damage. If he can get out of this with another single or dot, that'd be a win, I think.
And he is taking the sweep out of the occasion, out of the equation with his length here.
Yeah, it's knocked into the leg side from
done
Austin.
well again.
That'll be one, and then there's still a ball to come, is there? No, that's over.
That's the set.
That's over.
Well bowled.
2 overs gone.
Outstanding first 2 overs there for Pioneer Valley.
The score down's at 1 for 7. 1 for 8, apologies. 1 for 8 after 2. And I think Sipple might be going again here as well. So we saw South in the first innings. The rotation of bowlers was very like almost 2-day cricket format, in that bowlers just went 3 overs at a time.
Bowling their full sets.
That's right. Sipple starts. There is that sweep, and there'll be a run out again here. No, there won't. Something going on. It's that finals pressure that we talked about.
That's right.
Running between
runs
the
on
wickets.
the board. runs on the board again. It's a tale as old as time.
Split again. You can see Austin really looking for that sweep, and
Wow,
he gets it this time. And that will be his first boundary. He's underway, and tell you what, that
Quite
was
an incredible shot, that.
Well,
He
yeah.
hasn't really changed his setup at all. It's not a very conventional sweep.
It was
but
like a
he's
swat, wasn't it?
absolutely middled that.
And what he also does have is Sipple's bowling this with real pace. You can see that their plan is go when the batsmen are hitting into the breeze, they're happy to give it some more air. But from this end, Sipple's trying to go as flat as possible.
Absolutely.
So as soon as Austin is able to get bat on it, that's going to fly. If he can, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to that
Yeah,
sweep
we'll be
again.
looking for it again. He slowed that one up.
Yeah. Asked him to hit down the ground. He does. He hits it the long on. 5 runs off the over. We're at the halfway point of the third over here. Just a reminder that they are chasing 153, 154 for victory, I would think. 154 runs required from the 20 overs. Sipple now in. And it's inside
Ooh,
edge is
got
going to beat
through.
the keeper. They might get back for
They'll
2
double-
hits.
they'll
They
double
are
up
coming
here.
back. Again, it's a lovely throw. Top of the stumps.
Been some brilliant service from Pioneer Valley here. They're certainly coming out with an agenda there.
And just another one of
Absolutely.
those cricket adages of it, the terms of the sort of, the team that fields the best can often win these games as well. And we saw South struggle with their catching, their high ball catching. Pioneer Valley with a great start, run out, a couple of good chases. And there was a slog sweep. It's in the gap. I think that'll be 4.
That'll be to the short boundary. That'll beat the fielder.
This is a man that can really get going as well. We've seen some innings from him that just can be incredibly hard to contain, and especially with this field, they've obviously stacked it heavily on the offside. There's only 4 on the leg side trying to work out where they need to go, and they're going to switch that now, in fact, so there'll be square leg and short 45, both in the ring, 2 fielders out on the leg side.
Got a man out at Cowboy,
And he's got it into
and
that
he's
gap.
found it.
It's a good chase, actually. And no 2 there. Another great piece of fielding. And that's the end of the over. So it's a decent one. In that there was a boundary, but I think again in this sort of power play period, 1 for 20 off 3. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty even contest at the moment.
Yeah, and without putting the commentator's curse on young Carroll, he probably hasn't got away this tournament just yet. So we know the class of the man.
That's right. I think scores of threatened in 1 game. He's gone scores of 0, 1, 43, 27, 0, and now 13 not out. So exactly right. I remember that innings of 43. He hit a couple of very big sixes in there. But he is, as we were sort of saying about Josh Brown, he's one that can get away. Here he will be. He starts with a dot. Steve McGiffin that's humming
As
around
we
there
see
at
the
mid-wicket.
4th over of spin again here.
Yeah.
They've certainly gone all in on this theory to start the game off.
I think Doolan bowls spin for them too.
He does some more orthos,
And
that's
nailed.
quite big. That'll find a
Absolutely hammered to mid-wicket and out towards the beer garden. Couple of schooner glasses in
that's
trouble.
that length again, that just a fraction short. It does sit there when you get a little bit short on this wicket.
I think what was impressive there though is that Carroll actually ran at him. He used his feet to get down the wicket. The ball was short, and then he was able to adjust and still go through with his swing, and absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, very impressive hands there.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
This is a huge partnership in the context of this chase, I think. Now that's back and punch straight to cover for a dot, which they'll be happy with. I think one thing that Carroll will be looking to do is he's gone with boundaries. He's played some great shots, but he's also had some dots on him here, so Pioneer Valley would chalk that up as a little win. Now he goes again, and that's into the
could
gap.
find it.
No, it's not. It's caught.
That's gone straight to the man at Cowboy. And that is an enormous wicket. Pioneer Valley are absolutely up and about here, and they deserve to be. They've had a great start in the power play. As we see the team of coaches run out with the water, probably an average age of about 13. A lot of experience in this coaching group for Pioneer Valley.
I've never seen a bigger team huddle in a cricket game before in my life. That is amazing scenes. Connor Carroll is the batsman dismissed. We called it. It wasn't great commentary. I thought he got it in that mid-wicket gap. In fact, the fielder did not have to move at all, but it's well pouched. We've seen it's been hard to take catches today from all reports.
It was probably a very similar delivery that went for 6 to be fair, and he might have pushed it through a fraction quicker and just got onto Carroll a little bit quicker than the previous ball that he'd knocked over the top.
Absolutely. I think it's Cridlin that was out there at deep mid-wicket or just in front of square. It's a great catch because it was hit hard and flat. It did have the length. If there wasn't a fielder there, it was carrying for 6, but got his hands, fingers pointing up. Great take,
Yeah,
great
very
catch.
impressive catching Rainbow there.
Yeah.
He's made the right decision.
Yeah, well, we talked about the low hands, how that's probably cost South. He had that right in front of his eyes, pouched, fingers up, the Ricky Ponting technique. And that is a big wicket, and it puts a lot of pressure on Sean Austin, and it'll be interesting to see what his approach becomes now. Can't afford to lose another wicket. It's flat, and at the stumps it'll be another dot.
Yeah, we could absolutely be seeing that fielding is the difference here already. You'd have to think that Souths might have been, to use Andrew Simon's theory, maybe around about a negative 15 in the field in runs given away and adding and drop catches. You'd have to say that Pioneer Valley is probably a +5 already with runs saved, really good service, already a run out.
Yep. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's that the catching. I mean, that moment in the game could be absolutely huge, really, because that's one of their premier bats. Someone that can definitely get going and use that power play to massive advantage too. It was definitely Cridlin, the batsman out. Jack Beath run outs, 1 off 2. Connor Carroll dismissed, caught Cridlin at bowled. Xander J 19 off 13 at the crease is Sean Austin on 6. And there would be another batter, I'd presume. They haven't told us who it is yet. So I think he might be no idea. We'll find out. Probably the people that are watching actually know more than us, to be fair. We've lost all of our contacts.
A couple
up
of
here,
fly-ins.
Yeah, that's right. Lost all the contacts that are able to tell us. And we're going to see a change of bowling, and that's spin again. This could be Doolan, I believe.
This is Doolan, I believe.
Yeah.
He'll be bowling some orthos here.
Okay.
It has been interesting to see as the weekend's developed, the use of sight screens has absolutely come into the mix.
The use of side screens and the use of warm-ups, I think you commented before as well.
It certainly has. As that cash gets closer,
Yeah.
The dial turns up to a new level.
I don't remember our first game on Saturday. I think you guys, that's close too.
Fraction high.
Ooh,
Fraction high,
geez,
mate.
Someone's gone off in the beer garden there. They were convinced it was out. It's a great angle from over there at deep square leg.
Yeah, well, it's gearing up towards 1 o'clock on a public holiday, and the beer garden is certainly starting to get a little bit of atmosphere. That's some really good bowling again.
Oh, we've got Siri joining in for commentary as well. There's 3 people on the mic. Fantastic. This has been a great set. I mean, this is where you feel for the batsman, to be honest. I've been in this situation too many times. A couple of quick wickets and probably a couple of quick wickets where you just feel as if you have to get going quickly, but you also can't afford to lose another one.
It's an adjustment that they will have had to make out of the E8s that we've been playing this weekend as well. If you're coming in the third over of an E8 and you've lost 2 quick ones, you have to get going straight away. But they've got plenty of time to play with here, which is strange to say in a T20, but such is the format that MCAI Cricket's discovered this weekend. I think it's a format of the future.
From all
The
reports, I
E8
think
and
they
the
are
T10.
going to run with that for the future as well. But
Talking to the organisers,
yeah,
wow,
that was
that's
coming.
really well bowled. He's hit a fantastic length there, and he's just gone back through the gate. Might have caught an inside edge, and we see the coaching group out on the
They
field
come.
again.
Now I mean, this set from Doolan, the poor old batter, without wanting to, obviously not trying to be ridiculously negative, it's an incredibly tough time to bat after 2 big wickets. But Doolan has been unplayable this set by the looks. He's gone play and miss on the pads, and then slides that one through the gate as well. So that wicket you sort of felt like was coming for that set.
And it's quite easy to say from where we're standing here, Drano, but a little bit of intent might have been lacking there to get himself into his innings.
Yeah.
But certainly a world of pressure on the young man, and it's a
obviously-
very, very tough place to be.
And I mean, one thing Doolan has done, which we can't see from here either, what the ball's actually doing, but he's landed, as you said, every ball in an outstanding length.
Well, the incredible thing is, through the E8s, the pace was very much the flavour. There was a lot of seam up bowlers getting the overs. Spinners were probably put on the back burner.
Absolutely.
But we've seen the first 5 overs here from Pioneer Valley all spin, and we're going spin again. So they've absolutely discovered something here.
Well, you're exactly
They've
right.
seen
I was
something
gonna
in the
make that
wicket early.
comment too. Yeah, it's we haven't seen a lot of spin at all, and Pioneer Valley. I mean, that's a risky play, bowling a spinner where they're hitting with the breeze. But Doolan's set there, I believe, is a wicket maiden. He's genuinely bowling. And there's another wicket.
This is absolute scenes here. The coaching group's out again.
They're coming out again. Here they
I hope they've got the booper trackers on, because
5
they're doing
people.
some massive kilometres here.
Have a look at it. Unbelievable scenes. I mean, they had a drink 3 balls ago. Can't be that thirsty yet. Oh, the boys, they're going to be involved. They are going to be involved in there, that's for sure. And that's a huge wicket. I mean, Dan, you're probably going to have to talk us through that one, because I was looking at my cricket, which won't surprise you to know. Absolute snarf.
Well, the left arm has come around the wicket again, and it's probably just slid on and beat the inside of the bat, and he was stuck in front. And the umpire made a fairly quick decision there.
Yep, was happy to let him know that his day was complete.
Hit him below the knee roll, and he was stuck on the crease. It was that length again that just skidded through probably a little bit quicker.
Now, without wanting to write anyone off too early, 4 for 26 chasing 153. This would be one of the greatest comeback wins that you'll see.
The stage is set, isn't it? The stage is absolutely set for someone to be the hero here.
And the spin just doing the damage. Jared Sipple, 2 overs, none for 14. Xander J, 2.1 overs, 2 for 12. M. Doolan, 1 over, 1 for 0. So there's been some great spin as he starts with a wide now. I'll try and get some updates on who we have batting. I'm going to need a little bit of help.
That coaching group from Pioneer Valley has come up with an absolute dream game plan so far, you'd have to say.
And this is a
could
good
be in
chance
trouble
to. He's
again.
running
It's gonna
backwards. That's the
go.
only thing he's. Yeah, it's just.
He was always going to be in trouble with the breeze blowing in that direction. Trying to trod back. It's probably one where you've got to turn and chase.
I was about to say, I think that's Cridlin who took that magnificent catch when it was flat, but he just knew that he wasn't going to have the pace to get there travelling backwards. Needed to turn and let it go over his shoulder.
The ball was always going to be running away with him with the breeze there. It did get a little bit of air in it.
And there's some dot balls to follow here. Xander J closing out his 3rd over in the end of the power play. And it's nailed over mid-wickets, but it'll just be the one, I think. It is.
He's bowled well to his field again there. They've
a bit more flight on that one too, wasn't there? Sort of inviting.
asking the batter to hit into the breeze, create all the pace himself.
We've got Bajaya and Burgess batting. We'll just try and work out who's who as Jay finishes with a dot. No, he doesn't. There was a wide in there, so there is a ball to come. This will be the end of the power play. You can see Steve McGiffin just letting people know to go to the ring. Just don't want to boundary this ball. And it's really well bowled. Slow. Ask the question. Batters trying to find the right balance between getting themselves going, but also knowing that really they can ill afford to lose a 5th wicket. It's a huge, huge moment in the game at the moment. Obviously, Pioneer Valley, it's no surprise that they're on top in this contest. 4 for 29 after the power play.
And they're going with Mitch Doolan again. No surprise after his wicket maiden.
That's right.
That
you
is the
probably
thing
earned
here,
yourself
Lee.
another over there, don't you?
You probably do. You're fairly stiff if your captain takes you off after that one. You'd be asking the question.
Correct. Absolutely. So it will be Doolan to bowl, and just a reminder, they are able to have 5 fielders out now. I don't know that they are though. They're leaving mid-off up, so they're asking him to. I like that play. That's good.
Just the 3 out.
Yeah.
It's very attacking for this early in a T20 game, but they're well and truly on top here. They're dictating terms.
I think they're sort of thinking if they bring those fielders up, they ask him to try and hit it over straight away. And if it goes 5 down, that's pretty much all she wrote, really. And it goes back, and he's still managing. So it's
They're not making things comfortable for South here. They're making South force the issue and haven't quite been up to the task just yet.
This is. Ooh, or struck into.
He's floated it up. And it's just the one down to wide long on.
It was floated up. It asked him, and he took it on. I mean, you've got to play to your strengths. That's the thing. But I'd be looking at that mid-off fielder being up, and if you're going to take a risk, that's potentially where you're looking, because you only need to get it 30 metres over the fielder.
And that is the short boundary that side as well. But Doolan's bowled well again there into the wicket.
His length, as you said, his length's lovely. He's making himself hard to get to by using your feet. Batsmen are camping back, just trying to get themselves going, looking for a single. And that is short, but it'll be hit out to deep square leg, just the one. Doolan very happy with this set again. It's gone for 2 singles, I believe, off it.
And it always seems to be the case when the game's against you. Those boundary balls that you might hope to get away, just find a fielder.
Yeah. And you can see they actually did put that third fielder backward. And this is great captaincy just for those watching and wondering what's going on. So they were really aggressive for the first 4 balls of the over. Had, as you said, only 3 fielders out. And then the last 2, once they've got dots and they know it's going to be a great over, put all your 5 fielders out and go, now we're making it hard for you to hit a boundary.
That's right, it locks the over into being a 3-run over.
Exactly.
It's very smart.
Now we're going to see Xander J bowl all the way through, so he's just going his 4 straight. He's going to bowl the 8th over for us now. 2 new batters at the crease, were relatively new. They're looking to get themselves going at 4 for 32 after 7. So a bit of work to do. Reminder, they're chasing 153. Pioneer Valley scored 154. Will get them the victory. But these spinners, we've only seen spin bowl thus far, and it has been incredibly effective from a Pioneer Valley point of view.
And we have seen the wind die down here, so the short boundary could be an option.
That's exactly right. That's
But
going to
he's
beat
found it and
third
sliced
man.
it.
He might get that though, Ben. He's run well. Yes, he has. That's been probably the slowest section of the ground, that down there. So it'll just be the 2. But you're right. It looks as if Jaya might look to deposit over mid-wicket here. There is that fielder just at sort of just in front of square. I think one at long on as well. Gives himself room. Goes to mid-off for a dot.
He stood tall on that when he struck that well.
It's a nice strike, yeah. It can be the confidence-building strike too, can't it? Just getting one in the middle, feeling like you've got the pace of the wicket.
Exactly right.
He'll take a risk here. Oh, it's really well bowled from Xander J though. You can see he's actually giving himself room, wanting to go over the offside. Xander J is following him, and now you
And
see
the
long off
captain's
go
seen
back.
that as
Yeah.
well. That's
Yeah.
very smart captaincy again. Part and parcel with the last over. They've put the pressure on early. Now they'll just be looking to close it out. The short boundary is certainly still an option here. If he gets a good piece on it, won't be much the fielders can do.
It's into the wicket. It will be knocked out to mid-wicket for 1, I think. Just the 1.
It's hard to get 2s on that short boundary.
Yeah.
It's a very, very short run in for those fielders.
You're exactly right. And outstanding set again, and 4 overs really from Xander J. We'll let you know his figures at the end of this ball. It's hit. He's going to get
He's
another
found the
dot. Sorry, there is one to come.
One to
I apologise. Score.
If you're looking to bowl this into the wicket again, you'd have to think.
Oh, and we see some real intent. He's actually got off the inside edge of the bat. It's going to be a dicey 2. He's coming back.
Very
He's
tough.
out.
He's out by a long way there. And that's the pressure of the run rate.
Tell you what that is also is a wonderful piece of glove work. The throw was right next to the stumps, but it was at a length where it's actually quite difficult to take. The keeper got it clean.
He's done
as a
very
whistle.
well to stay low on that.
Correct.
He's done extremely well.
Correct. And that's, as you said, that, I mean, I don't think there was at any stage was there 2 there, but you just know that once you face that many dots.
Again, it's that short boundary. It's extremely tough to get a 2 out there.
And Pioneer Valley, they have got one word written on the trophy, I would suggest, at 5 for 36 after now 8 overs. Xander J finishes 4 overs, 2 for 19. There's a run out in that over as well. We've seen 2 run outs. They fielded fantastically well.
And the word from the coaching group that runs out there is probably just stay on task, isn't it?
That's
Finish
right.
the job. It's a lot of experience in that coaching group
Yeah.
that's running that out. They've won championships before. You
They
can
have,
tell.
absolutely. Couple of very impressive
Seasoned
ones
veterans.
too. Yep. So that is quite a coaching group. I've never seen a more well-hydrated unit than Pioneer Valley are today. There is one water bottle each for every player. They'll be dueling again now. It's knocked out into mid-wickets. I think it'll just be one.
As this game drifts further and further away from Souths here, I think it does start showing the value of the E8 format. I think we might be getting to a stage in world cricket where T20s are too long and starting to get outdated.
I think so.
MCAI cricket's discovered the format of the future here.
I remember that when T20 cricket first started, everyone would say, nah, it's too short, won't take off, it's just a hit and giggle.
You don't get a go.
Nah.
Not enough guys get a bat.
That's right. And now, here we are watching a T20 and we switched off, really. There's nothing to be said for it. We've got used to the E8 tournament.
Exactly right. And on a weekend like this, all the teams have stumped up a little bit of money. You've got to spend money to make money.
That's right.
But if you're looking for a value for money weekend, you come in, and for everyone listening in who's thinking about putting a team in next year, it will be, we've been speaking to the organisers, it will be an E8 or T10 format.
Yeah.
And to come in for a weekend, you might have to put a couple of $100 down on the table to play some cricket for the weekend. But if you're playing T10s, you're almost guaranteed to get 5 or 6 hits for the weekend.
Yeah.
Which
And
is fantastic
just
value.
A heck of a venue, really good organisation. The fact that you're obviously playing for money is quite an incentive as well, because that's knocked down to long on for a single. And as you've said, no, they're coming back here, and that's not out. Well run.
It's very good running, and he's picked the long boundary.
Yeah.
So that's certainly the side of the ground to get you
Pioneer
to.
Valley coaching unit was halfway out there. They thought that was going to be run out for sure. They've got halfway out there again for another just quick hydration. That'll be the
They're
end
back
of
on the
over.
exercise bikes, keeping the legs
That's right.
warm.
Just keep them ticking over, boys. That will be the end of the 9th over. The score is at 5 for 38.
Another very tidy there from Doolin.
And we still are yet to see a fast bowler bowl. We've still got Steve McGiffin, Josh Brown that can bowl if need be. It's not going to be either of them by the looks. I think it's going to be Sipple. Sipple again.
Does look to be Sybil.
Yep.
He's wheeled around, changed ends.
So
He'll be
we've
bowling
seen
with the breeze here.
10 overs of spin. Yeah.
That's incredible. It's an incredible change from what we've seen for the majority of the weekend.
Now, this is really well bowled again. Great start. Right in the block hole, it'll be a dot. It's amazing. I don't think anyone would have expected it. No one's seen Sipple bowl for the entire tournament. They've just gone 3 spinners and they've just been one step ahead. As that is now hit to mid-on, it'll take some catching. It's well done in the end.
He's done very well there to just get a hand on the half volley there. Those are always the toughest. You don't know whether it's going to stick or skid through. But he's put the body on the line and he's saved his team 3 runs. Again,
it's really well appreciated by the crowd too. They were right into this contest, right in the game, and that score, he's hit him in the pads. Both batters here are looking to take the spinner on, which they won't mind. Pioneer Valley, they've got fielders positioned on the leg side. 3 of them out there. It's a short boundary, as we've spoken about. Just hit back to the bowler. It's fast bowling from Sipple.
very quick, very full, not giving the batter any chance to get back and try and attack that short boundary.
That's slower, and
that will
nailed.
be 6.
Oh,
He's found the short boundary there. It's probably against the plan that he was bowling in early in the over.
Well, you could almost say that he's probably got slightly greedy there. Going, I've got a couple of dots, let's see if I can get a wicket. I don't think Sipple will mind us saying that. Let's see what he goes. This will be faster, I would say. And it is.
That's back to the
and
plan.
there's a run out for sure. Oh,
wow,
he's missed the stumps, and now they get a run. So that's quite a bit of action for one single. And batsmen are just getting together and working out what's gone wrong there. It's the end of another spin-led over, which is effective, although that one did cost them 11. Jared Sipple now figures of none for 22 off his overs, the 3 that he's bowled. Score is at 5:47. Halfway mark, Dan.
We're still into the 11th over of spin. Doolan coming in again.
Doolan, yep. What is interesting though is that we obviously, probably been pretty quick to shut out South's hopes here at 5:47. The E8 format that we've talked about, teams are going at 10 and over as par.
Very comfortably,
Yeah.
very comfortably.
They really were. So, I mean, and that's all that's required here is 100 off 10 essentially gets them home. So the 5 wickets is more concerning. But a huge partnership here, you just never know. That's hit away to the mid-wicket
He's found
boundary.
a very handy little
Oh,
gap
that's
there, but
another
it's well
wonderful
fielded
piece.
again.
No, it's not. It's 4.
Might have had a foot on the boundary there as he touched that.
Yeah. It's a great effort out there again. Piney Valley, they've been happy to chuck their bodies on the line here. A great crack.
By my calculations, it's probably still +8 in the field.
Yep.
I'd have
Happy
to
with
say.
that. What did you give that one on the Roy scale there? Is that, you would have said that's exceptional if it stopped, I think. I don't think that's the
I
standard.
think that's probably par.
Yeah.
Really, I think that shot deserved 4, so
I agree.
I'll give him a pass mark on that one.
So you see Doolan gets another dot. Doolan's figures here, he's been quality. He was the not-out batsman also for Pioneer Valley, so he contributed 14 runs there, but his figures with the ball had bowled 3 overs, 1 for 7, and this will be in the gap, but it's well stopped. So not in the gap, in fact, because the fielder was there. Oh, what a pickup. The keeper swatted it.
Wily veteran.
He is. We've got Doolan at 3.2 overs, 1 for 11 here. Probably 12 now.
He's been very important for them this weekend. The local boy coming back into the mix. He's given that a good swat, and it'll just be the single out to Cow.
No, you're exactly right, because he's not the one that you would be talking about in the Pioneer Valley lineup. He's not the sort of top 4 batter that you look at and go, geez, they could score plenty here. But when he's needed to, he's got the job done and got the ball into gaps, ran 2s, ran hard, made sure that they got that score up +150. And he beats the batter again with another dot, and that'll be the end of his 4 overs. Doolan, it's an incredible performance really on a wicket that we haven't thought was that conducive to spin. He has just changed the game completely with that performance. I can't get his exact figures at the moment, they haven't loaded yet.
Well, there was no context for bowling spin in this match, was there?
We were
even through the E8s in such a fast format, the spinners probably weren't utilised as much as in a T20. But the wicket hasn't spun at all weekend. But they've still found a way to build dots, build pressure. It's been a really impressive bowling performance so far.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. We were confused. Like at no stage were we thinking, just bowl spin and you win it. That was completely out of the blue for us, and it's just paid off. What a shout! And Steve McGiffin out there at cover. He is the leader of this Pioneer Valley team. He's played plenty of cricket and very good cricket throughout this tournament and in his career. He was one step ahead. It'll be Brown.
And we see the
now,
first seam up of the game
It
here.
is, isn't it?
But to be fair, on a run up shorter than some of the other spinners, so we're still making it through our over rate.
The over rate they could get just real praise about getting the game done and early and making sure everyone
Umpires
can
will
get
be
back to
very
their flight.
happy.
Yeah, that's right. Be Brown there. We'll look to target that short boundary again here. Goes leg side, hits it to mid wicket,
And he's
gonna
found a nice little gap
little
there.
chip, a little pitching wedge, just for a single. Brown looks to be happy to go into the wicket. It's a pitch that hasn't been easy for new batters to find their timing, so you can use the pitch as your variation a little bit. Although he may have
That's
this one.
found
Has
the
he?
short boundary. That's going to clear it.
Oh,
Only just. The wind certainly nearly held that one up.
I tell you what, the
If
fielders.
the fielder stayed on the rope there, he might have been a chance.
He sort of ran in originally. He obviously didn't think it was going very large. I thought that he had a fair piece of it. You're right
It
with that.
sounded like
breeze.
good contact off the bat.
And again,
He
that's
struck
nailed
that one well too.
That's long off though. That'll
Well,
just be a single.
This is the partnership for South, isn't it? He's found his timing now.
Yep. Yeah, and he's identifying that short boundary leg side. As this one's hit too pointed, might be a single. No, it's
there
not.
won't be one on the misfield.
I believe that's actually Addy out there who's struggling to find his hamstring.
I believe the umpires told him he had to field.
I think that was
for 40
discussed. Yeah,
overs.
yeah. So I don't know what we're into now. It'd
He's
be interesting to see if he goes off.
He's managed his health through the weekend after doing an early string.
Oh jeez, well he's dove at that, thrown his body around. All to no avail. They still get a single out to third man, and not a bad set from South Sharks there. 5 for 56 is the score at this stage. I don't think that's actually updated though. It's 5 for 63. I apologise. And who are we going to see come on now? This will be the captain himself, Steve McGiffin. And I think it's a pretty big ace to have up your sleeve to have Steve McGiffin's first over be
Coming into the 13th.
Yeah, that's right. The fact that the bowlers
If the
have been
game
able to do
required,
that
he
good
could
of a
bowl
job.
4 straight here. And goes without saying, it's tough for South from here on in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the fact that they can have him come in and bowl after their spinners have done such a great job to obviously A, make sure that the runs are at a minimal, but B, that their 5 wickets down.
Yeah, comes into a spell a long way ahead of the game here.
Starts, and that'll be high. This will be a catching chance. The fielder's going back over his shoulder and puts it down. That's a tough chance, a tough swirling chance.
Very tough. Another case of low hands gets the better of the fielders again.
He's never quite got the chance to get settled under that particular ball, did he? I like the technique and the fact that he turned, let it go over his shoulder and go, but just sort of got himself really close to it. Actually, as you said, hands low and hit him in the chest there, but just the single. They are definitely looking to take this on. They flick the switch. Length again. It is chipped out to cover. It'll just be the one. And McGiffin starts with 2 singles. This partnership, though, is just starting to gain a little bit of momentum, you would say, Dan.
Yeah, you'd have to think so. This is it for South, really. They need these guys to take it extremely deep to be any chance. As you say, that he's chalked that one up.
It's chalked, yeah. Straight off the cue end. McGiffin, he's now a couple of shadow bats with the bat the wrong way. Shadow batting there.
That's probably just finding his hands, isn't it? Is that the new?
Finding his
Is that the
hands
new
there.
thing?
Tell you what, there was a
I'm not a
time
good
where I
enough
was
stick to
batting
know
this
where they
week
are.
It's the time I was batting this week where I felt like I was holding the bat that way, to be honest. Length into the wicket, into the outfield on the leg side at deep square. That would just be a single. Giffen, after 5 balls, he'd be happy with this set. He's a hard man to get a hold of.
It's the quality of the bowler. He's just got a lot of options, doesn't he? He's got that hard ball into the wicket. He's got a good slower ball, and he's been hitting his Yorker really well all weekend. He's really tough to get away.
Now that is
There's
slow,
a slower ball.
and
It's found a
it's
man.
a catching chance, and
And
it's
it
taken.
hasn't. That is it.
A little bit stiff, the batsman there.
He's timed that
Waited
really
for
well.
it, yeah.
But that's the nature of the game. When the team's on top, you just find the fielders every single time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He just made him wait. It was well struck. If you get that in a gap, you get 4, but picked out the fielder. I'm not sure who it is out at deep mid wicket. It's the second really good catch we've seen of that nature. Just flat balls hit to the fielder.
If anything, it was just a little bit in between. If he got under it, he certainly struck it well. It could have been clearing the boundary by a good 20 metres.
It's a good point, really. Very true. He certainly had the power, and we were watching him in the warm-up. Actually, it looked like we were asking, who is that man? And he definitely looked like he could smack him.
Absolutely had a clean arc,
Yeah.
and he did get a good swing at that one.
But it is the 6th wicket to fall for Souths here, and it makes life hard for them. That was probably a partnership that looked like it was just starting to gain some traction as well. So it's a key wicket
I think
to
that coaching
Giffen.
group has grown in size now.
It's
as
gone.
well.
They've got another person now as well. They might have even taken
Ano-
one fielder off.
Another assistant, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think that could be the director of tactics potentially.
Bit of S&C.
Now, Giffen goes full, chipped out to mid-wicket. I think that my cricket's having a nightmare here because they've got Don White as being the not-out batsman. I'm certain I haven't seen him bat. No, yeah, I'm not. That actually is him batting with the MRF at the other end there. Okay, so he was not the batsman dismissed. It is. Let's see if I can get something going on. 6 for 69 is the score. That is the end of the 13th over, is it? Or are we saying 12th? Going down.
I think that could be the 13th.
Okay, that's definitely saying 11.6.
Otherwise known as 12,
Which
isn't it?
we have seen called 12, I think, at times. But yeah,
And he's given that a roost.
we're an over
And it's held up in the
behind.
wind again.
It's 6 runs. It is 6. The fielder, that really teased the fielder there. He got himself in a decent position right on the edge.
He
of
was
the
well
road there.
set. He knew where his boundary was. Just outside of the fingertips.
And they start with a 6 first ball. It is Don White. It's on strike, and this will be.
And that's another
a
roost.
good
Wow.
biggie. That is a real biggie.
That's cleared everything there. And I was told earlier in the weekend that Harrop Park field number 1 has got the same dimensions as the SCG.
Seriously. So that's a couple of rows back.
That's
that.
not a bad hit, that one.
No. Yeah, interesting to
I
see
think
how Brown
most
responds.
country fields you will find that they have the exact dimensions of one of the main fields in the country.
Now he's gone straight up at point. He's got no hamstring, this poor man at point. And it'll just be.
He's absolutely been putting his body on the line for the team this weekend.
It's a great effort, isn't it? It was well bowled by Brown. I was thinking that he was going to go change up as full as possible. He actually went into the wicket as like a bouncer, which I think was quite surprising.
He's got it outside of the arc there, which is really what he needed to do. He got it away from that short boundary.
That's right. A little bit of chat between batsman and bowler, probably of a friendly nature, but it just looks good for all spectators. See a little bit of chirp between them. Be a leg by, but it will get Don White back on strike. He looks to be the man. If there's one that can play a cameo that gets them across the line, this is him.
It would be an absolute story from here.
He's gone 2 6s already in the over. Brown, interesting to look at where he's going to try and go here. There's only 2 fielders out on the leg side.
Just got to hold up with the scorers. Just
Sorry,
need to put a hand up in the air. There we go. We're away.
First leg by the tournament, maybe. No one was ready for it. Here we go. That's incredibly well bowled.
Slice that. That's
I'll tell you what, though,
it's
they'd
tough to
start
do
get-
much else with that.
Wouldn't they be getting a little bit worried about the striking of D White though? Given that ball's a wide Yorker, wide hole, and he spanked it.
And it is that time of the game where the pressure's completely off the batters here.
Yeah, it's almost like why not have a crack sort
Exactly
of thing, and
right.
that can sometimes be the most dangerous. Very good over. You can see South showing their appreciation down there. They're not far away from us here in our vantage point. It was a good over, that is for sure. It takes the score to 6 for 85, so it's a huge over. We've got it as the 14 overs gone. It'll be McGiffen to go again, I would think.
And what they've done, South, is they've still kept that required run rate at 10.
Correct. So again, we've got.
So they're still in line with their E8 form.
And that's the thing. I think that's the blessing of the E8 is you actually realise that 10 and over used to be quite intimidating. And there were times where you got 80 this week and you didn't feel like you had enough.
Exactly. It's the modern day batsman, isn't it? It's 2 hits and a couple of singles.
Correct.
That gets you there.
Yeah. And that's what I think these batters have made good is that when they're, especially Don White, like hats off to him when he's hit boundaries, but then he just hasn't had a dot ball either. That's placed, and then you can see that it is the role of the new batsman to just make sure that he's giving the strike to the man that's going well. tell you
And
what,
that
if you-
breeze has picked up again, so
it's about to make the same comment. Gets it up into that. There could be some real trouble trying to contain this.
you have to think he'll be looking to sit deep in his crease and attack that cow boundary here.
No, we definitely. Oh, he hasn't got
He's
any
got
of
the
that.
shot he wanted.
We've definitely got a game of hide and seek going on live in the background here as well. You're getting front row tickets to that. I've seen a couple of the hiding places. I don't think they're great.
Yeah. Mum and Dad are over in the beer garden and the kids are
that's
running
right.
wild.
Go and entertain yourselves, guys. Go annoy the commentators with some hide and seek. Mission accomplished. And
That's extremely slow. He's done really well there.
I think it's had the back of the hand, that one, isn't it? Oh, they just run over it. The back of the hand slow ball, you're exactly right. It was into the wicket and you had to wait for an age to get it.
It takes away your entire backlift. It takes all your power out of the equation when you're having to wait that long.
I agree. I think you almost go up in your backlift, back down, and then have to try and get it to go again. You're so trained to get your bat sort of up to your back shoulder, swing through. That type of slow ball, that's a massive change down. I think they're very effective deliveries.
And he's gone again with the slow ball.
Just out to cover.
I think he's probably got a couple of options with the slower ball here from what I've seen. He's got the back of the hand, he's got the off cutter.
Yeah, he's happy to tell you about him too, Steve McGiffin, and talk you through the variations that he offers. He was making comment the other day that bowling to Glenn Batterchotto, he tried all variations and they all went for 6.
Yeah, I think that was most bowlers this weekend bowling to Batty.
That's right.
It's a shame we didn't have the commentators, or commentators weren't required for Batty's 91 off 30.
Yeah, I would have liked to mic him up and get him to commentate. Yeah. Just what the heck's going on here? How are you doing this? 91 in an 8-over game, that is, by the way. I'd take 91 in a 4-day game.
And still out with 5 balls to spare
right.
as well.
That's right, he would have got there. McGiffin goes into the wicket. It's Nick past third man, it'll be 4.
That's the kind of break they needed. That'll keep their run rate up this over. It'll
Correct.
keep their required up.
The other thing is it's from the bat of the batsman that probably hasn't got himself going yet too, which is a huge thing. If you can have runs coming from both ends, and that's really what they need now, is to have contributions from both ends, that is going to get them out of, well, certainly within striking distance. If they can be sort of even 25 to win off the last 2, you're right in the game.
Absolutely.
And he will retain the strike with another single, which closes out the 15th over. And just a quick score check and update. 6 for 94 is the score at the end of 15, requiring 154 for victory. We're going to see Brown bowl again, and this is where the threats have been from this end. Short boundary, bowler bowling into the wicket. This is probably an over where they want to make it count.
Yeah, they'll really be liking a big over here if they can get this up around that 15 or 16 off this over with the short boundary. Puts them well and truly in the game. That run rate's just creeping up over 11 now.
First ball goes to Dixon, who carves it to long off. Jared Sipple's out here fielding in front of us. Gets it back in, but this is the matchup, I think, Dan, that Don White, Jay Brown to Don White, and
if this gets in the arc, it could be going a long way.
Targeting mid-wicket, isn't he? Walks across. That's really well bowled.
Really good piece of bowling. He's got outside of that arc that we spoke about.
And I think that's what he's definitely looking to do. He's actually got the 3 fielders out here on the offside. So he wants to go wide of off stump. You could see the batsman walk across his stumps and try and make it so that he could hit it leg side. Just out-skilled by the bowler there.
And it's good captaincy again. Really, there's not much you can do to protect that short boundary when the batters get onto it. So there's not much point in having your 3 fielders out that side. So they'll be targeting to bowl that wide Yorker length.
Oh, that's a chance too. It's put
And
down.
he's spilt that.
He's coming back too, I think. No, he's not. It'll just be the single.
It's flown a long way with the breeze, that one. I dare say that probably got to the fielder a little bit quicker than he was expecting.
Yeah, they went fast and flat, didn't it? I was surprised that it carried that far. But it is just a single. Which
Off
is
the
not
bat
a
as a
bad
fielder,
result.
you're probably charging in at that one, which he did.
And this is
And that will go the distance.
And that's
He's
from the
found the
bat of
short
Dixon
boundary.
too.
You said it last over, didn't you, Lee? That's really important that they're coming from both ends now.
Absolutely. I think the point that you made is about getting them to hit to that long boundary. Obviously, bowlers want to make themselves unpredictable. Brown went to the slower ball there. It was picked by Dixon. But I think that's where he wants to be, is getting hit to this side, the longer side of the boundary. It's intelligent bowling, but you just get to a point where you feel like you have to do something different. It's hard to hold.
Yeah, it's very much a test of patience as a bowler and a bit of a test of ego as well. Certainly as a bowler, you want to show everyone that you've got every ball in the playbook.
That's right. That's exactly right. Now that will be the end of the 16th over, and it's game on here, to be fair. It's 6 for 106, and it's getting far closer than what we thought it would. So we've got Don White, who is the not-out batsman, on 31 from 21, and Dixon now is chipped in. He's 17 off 10. So as we talked about, both batters going at more than, well, strike rates of about 150. Dixon 170. So there's a real threat here. Pioneer Valley started getting a little bit more nervous in the coaching
Dixon
group
is a
down
big
there.
addition to this partnership here.
Yeah.
He probably saw a few early and got himself into the game, but he's found his timing now.
No, you're right. Now he hasn't got that one. That's into the wicket from McGiffin. They're pushing hard for two. They won't get back. Oh, you're exactly right. I think that earlier on it was looking like all the work had to be done by.
As I try and blow apart our mics there.
No, we're good. We're okay. All the work had to be done by Don White, but now we've got batters at both ends, both threatening. This is who they'd probably struggled to get a hold of, is McGiffin. And that's very slow and played and missed. It's that back of the hand slower ball again from McGiffin. I'm not sure how it's missed the stumps. I don't think he is either.
We did touch on it at the start of McGiffin's spell. This was always going to be the luxury that Pioneer Valley had.
Yep.
Is McGiffin having his 4 overs at the back end of the game.
I just can't believe the change from how hard the spinners were to, I mean, really, now that there's no spin to bowl, they've probably got themselves back in the game here. It's a spin to win.
Yeah, the massive departure from the rest of the weekend.
That's potentially a catching
I think
tent.
that'll
No.
carry with the wind. You'd say it's going to find him
he's
right
out.
on the boundary.
He's caught. I was exactly in the same thoughts as you. I thought that once he got that up into the breeze, I mean, it's carving it. Don White, who's hitting them very clean for the whole of his innings. He probably didn't get it out of the screws, but I thought it just had that elevation.
He'd have
where
to
once
count
it
himself as
counted,
unlucky.
yeah. And we can't see from here how far in the field it was, but again, it's a great catch. The third we've seen out at deep mid-wicket. Potentially the difference between the two sides.
And it's the old adage, isn't it? The catches win matches.
They do win them. And I just don't think Pioneer Valley would be resting easy yet, though, with the way that Dixon struck that last 6 in the last over.
No, the messaging from the coaching group running out there would certainly be to get yourselves back in the fight here.
Absolutely.
The old experienced heads running out.
I
It's
think
been
Don
a
White
little
had to
while
go,
between
didn't he?
hydrating. He certainly had to go.
Yeah.
He didn't have the option of nurdling it around anymore. He had to try and have some big overs with the wind.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And as we said, it's a huge moment in the game, because it could have very easily been 6. It's probably a metre short of being 6, and I think that they really just have to keep going now, though. It's 10 and 11
It's
and over.
it's on Dixon's bat now, you have to think.
So, new batter that's walking out to the crease. He hasn't got long to get himself into the game.
Yeah, we wanted to run his twos really hard here. We're backing up. We're doing the team thing.
It's 7 for 107 is the score. Dixon 18 off 11. They cross, so he will be on strike. I'll find out the new batsman for you in a moment. Dixon goes past.
Around the corner.
Fine. There's a chance for 2. They're pushing hard. It's well fielded. They're coming back. and not gloved by the keeper. They do get back to 2. Dixon there.
And a rare bit of poor service there from Pioneer Valley, you'd have to say. He just got the keeper on the half volley.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. They've had a good day in the field, a couple of run-outs already, and you'd get the sense that there's going to be more run-out chances with the fact that there has to be taking some risks now with the running between wickets, trying to get Dixon back on strike. Dixon lays back and late cuts it to short third man. It'll just be a single, which is a result they'll be reasonably happy with. It'll be the first ball for the new batsman.
I think McGiffen's probably surprised Dixon there. I think the game plan from the bowler has certainly been full and straight, and he's surprised him with a shorter, wider one there.
Yep.
And
just his
certainly got
variations
away
too,
with the single.
It means that you're worried about that slower ball coming, so that when one is actually on pace, you've got far less time to try and get your swing right. It's blocked out into the offside. It'll just be a single, and it'll mean that the new batter is on strike for the start of the 18th over. 3 overs to come. I'm not sure who we have left to bowl it. It won't be Brown. There we go, just heard the score in the background there is 111 I've got. After 17 overs, 7 for 111.
So we've still got Sipple with 1,
Yep.
McGiffen with 1, and Brown with 1.
But it's going to be a new bowler, I think, by the looks of
It
things.
is. It's a big task to be coming in fresh.
Isn't it?
His first over in the 18th.
Maybe the only small victory is that he's bowling to a man who's only faced 1 ball thus far. Still trying to get his timing and his pace of the wicket as well. But yeah, you're bowling your first in the 18th is a tough ask. See how he goes.
You can see now they are trying to protect that short boundary. They've got 3 out on that short side.
Yep. Deep mid wicket out now. And it's pretty well bowled. Great start.
Very well bowled. Strong shoulder action there. Very much at the crease, generating his pace.
And he got that full and outside off and made it very hard for him to get targeted to the leg side, which is obviously where most right-handed batters are going to be looking at that short boundary. He's in for his second ball now. It's a full toss, it's on the legs, but it'll just be a single. It's a nice piece of fielding. Batsman comfortably home, but it is well fielded by the man at short, fine leg.
Very good piece of fielding for a man with 1 hamstring. He's done well again.
South's probably happy with this, having Dixon back on strike, and if there's a game, the defining moment, this is probably the battle Dixon needs to win now for South to have.
If Souths are any chance, they need these 2 overs to this short side.
Yeah.
They've still got 2 overs left in the game to the short boundary, so they'll be targeting those as big ones.
Thing is, you're not out of it because you're either hitting to the short boundary from this end or with the breeze from the other end. So there's chances both ways. This is the moment you feel. Dixon goes leg side, he gets it
He's
up in the
chipped
air,
that
it's
straight
Brown
to a
getting
man.
underneath it and taken.
Going to be a big wicket. I believe that's the man who dropped an earlier chance, so he's made up for that one.
So it was an interesting catching technique actually. Went with the side wrestle like a wicket keeper. But it doesn't really matter. However they stick is fine.
It's a catch in the book, isn't it?
That's exactly right. It's a shame for Dixon. It's a great innings. He gave them some real momentum there when him and White were going together. He had to keep going. I think he probably got the ball that he wanted there, to be fair. In the end, got sort of caught in 2 minds between trying to time it or really swing it hard. Chipped it up to mid-on there. Long on, I should say, for the 8th wicket. And Souths will continue to just keep trying to get it. I mean, you got to go down swinging, that's for sure.
It doesn't matter how much you lose by here. You've got to give yourself a fighting chance.
Dixon was 21 when he was dismissed, 21 from 14. It's a great knock on what has been a tough chase for Souths. Batsman crossed. And we're just going to see a single to point, which I think Pioneer Valley would be happy with. It's a tough one at the moment.
Yeah,
the singles just aren't going to be enough.
Absolute wins for Pioneer Valley every time they leak that single.
It's a hard ask here. 2 fresh batsmen. Connor Corlett's out there. The non-strikers end. Great start. That's through. You'll get that. No, it's not.
That's a great touch from point man.
It's a nice shot. I thought he sort of laid back and got it past that fielder. He got both those fielders.
I think that
Point
might have been
and
dueling
short
at
fine.
point
Is
there,
it?
so they've
Good fielder.
got the right man in the right spot.
Yeah. See if Connor changes.
Certainly an exercise in captaincy here from McGiffin. Hasn't missed a step.
He does go. He goes mid-wicket. There's not going to be. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he knows the
Cheek,
rules.
He knows the rules. He's got the stump in there. And I think he may have had the stump and the ball in opposite hands, though, which is not how the rule works, but the thought was there. The ball and the stump need to be somewhat connected rather than just running in and grabbing them like you're celebrating a win. But anyway, we can talk to him about that later. It is the end of the 18th over. And 8 for 114 by the sounds. You might be hearing that twice. Echo in the building.
That's a really big 18th over there. We said that the pressure was on him coming in with his first over in the 18th, and he's gone 1 for 3 off that.
1 for 3 is a huge result, and he
could have gone either way there, and it's certainly been Pioneer Valley that's coming out
that's
on top.
McNichol, who took some stick last night actually in the semi-final when Batachoto got him. Back of the hand,
There's the
slow
back of the hand, slower ball.
left, and a dot ball. But so it is great to see McNichol come back. Figures 1 over, 1 for 3. You're absolutely taking that in the 18th. We're now in the 19th over here. Steve McGiffin able to bowl it. And that's faster, and it's through, played and missed, through to the keeper. It'll be the second dot ball in a row. Great change-ups for McGiffin. His first one was so slow.
He's absolutely got his tail up here. He's a long way ahead of the game.
Starting to smell the cash, as we've mentioned. It's the T20 bash for cash. There's a huge prize on the line. Exactly sure how much it is, but
I think all the Pioneer Valley supporters are starting to warm up in the beer garden there.
Yeah.
I think they can taste a few coming their way.
It's wonderful bowling. It's 3 dot balls from McGiffin, and this is the problem when you don't have a recognised batter facing him. He's probably just in a different league.
He is a class above at the minute.
You're right. There just seems like there's Pioneer Valley blokes here that I haven't seen all weekend, but they know that.
I think the club president might have put the card over the bow already, I'd say.
He's sorted. A couple of people I've seen have changed club shirts, I'm pretty sure, to make sure that they're on the tab. That'll be high.
It's going to be a held up in the wind.
And it's taken.
He's done well. And high hands pay off there.
The finger's putting up.
He's got the hands above the eye line and he's taken the catch.
And that's a great redemption story as well. We spoke about Josh Brown putting one down, then taking a catch. It's the same man who had to turn and go and dropped one before. He's come back and taken another. And McGiffin, this is a quality over. I mean, the game was essentially probably put to bed anyway, but hasn't he just put an exclamation point on it? 4 balls, 3 dots, 1 wicket. No runs taken off
and
this over yet.
It's all you can ask of cricketers, isn't it? That they learn their lessons as quick as possible. So he's made his mistake early doors. And he's well and truly made up for it. He's sealed the game.
Twice, it's well done. And as a fielding unit, well, I mean, it's strange. They've dropped 2 catches, but as a fielding unit, they've been very, very good. They've probably taken catches that have mattered. I know that sounds a bit rogue, but
no, you're spot on there. You're spot on.
They've really.
I think the key is they got their chances quite soon after they dropped their catches. So they probably there's a slight bit of fortune, but you do make your own luck.
You look at sort of a batsman like Connor Carroll that hit one flat to mid-wicket, Don White when he presented a chance. He's going to get another chance here, is he? No, he's fallen over.
You'd probably put that one down as a chance, you'd say, if he had stood up.
I reckon the grass might be a bit thick down there. He's got
We've lost
stuck
a bat.
there, hasn't he? Oh, it's all happening. Bat's gone.
That's a
Field
very
tripped
eventful
over his
2
own
runs
feet.
there. It has been a long weekend.
It has.
So
Couple of tired, weary
legs
legs.
are starting to leave.
Tell you what, that third man option's looking quite good for all batsmen here. Swing out
It
mid-wicket.
could be, it could be the game here.
Here we go. It is Corlett that is on strike for the final ball of the 19th over.
He's shown decent technique to start.
He runs at him, plays and misses. It's a dot ball to finish. And Pioneer Valley would have to have an absolute catastrophe to lose from here.
They've got one hand on the giant check here.
That's correct. The giant novelty check is currently with Pioneer Valley, 9 for 114. I think that Souths need about 40 off the last over. It's not impossible, but it's tough to do with 1 wicket in hand, I'd suggest. It will
And
be...
we'll just need to stay behind the line here, I think.
Yes,
I think that's the
that's
only
right.
task here as the bowler.
Correct. I'd be running in and just making sure they go at the stumps, on the pitch. And
It's almost the point in the game where you take your run up out of the equation, isn't it? Just
correct.
one step
Bowl from a
deliver.
standing start. Here we go. Now I think it's McNichol that is going to bowl it again after his first over only went for 3 runs. Starts, is in there, and he plays and
Very
misses.
well bowled again. Outside of the arc.
Yeah.
They've bowled really astutely to that short boundary all day here.
No, you're exactly right. He knows that they want to go leg side. He's making them reach it from a long way outside off stump. Smart bowling. And this will be a catching chance. It's McGiffin. It's game, set, match, cash, Pioneer Valley.
is
Fielders
it.
running on everywhere. That is a tournament victory. The inaugural Bash for Cash, Great Barrier Reef Arena. MI Scaffolding as the sponsors, whoever else I meant to mention in this wrap. What an event, what a tournament. Well done, Pioneer Valley. Finished with a catch to Steve McGiffin, who's been one of the players of the tournament. As you mentioned, an unbelievable skippering throughout that entire fielding innings, and very, very well deserved to those guys.
Yeah, caps a great weekend, doesn't it? And fitting that the last catch was taken with the hands above the eyes. We've been going on about it. We've made the point all innings. It's been very important. But what a weekend it was. Massive amounts of credit to MCAI Cricket. They've put on an outstanding event. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes to make sure that some cricket happened this weekend. We had 4 fields out of play for the brunt of the weekend. But I think it's probably added something to the weekend that everything's been happening on the main field. It's been great for the spectators to be able to come down and watch some really entertaining cricket. I think we might have stumbled onto something in the E8 format.
Could not agree more. Remembering, guys, that obviously commiserations to South. They've performed admirably. They've been fantastic. All tournament, there were 8 teams in the tournament. To obviously be part of the final 2 is a huge achievement. I would expect that next year you are a fool if you don't come. There needs to be far more than 8 teams. It's a fantastic venue, a fantastic place. We've had the greatest time ever. Thanks for listening to us today, and we look forward to seeing you again in MCAI next year. Stumps.